What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. Making sure that my little curtain down there is closed. What up? What up? What up? What up? Hey, we made it. Hey, we made it. It's Friday, October 11th, 2024, year of our Lord. And we are going to switch the show up just a little bit by popular demand. I know occasionally y'all say Anton don't really take no call-ins on the Millionaire Morning Show like he used to. Well, we're going to switch that up a little bit today, all right? So this is how the show is going to go. We're going to do quick hits like usual. We're going to give y'all an update on what's going on with the hurricane. Definitely give y'all some updates on what's happening with the Diddy trial. That is set. We're going to talk about the Kamala Harris campaign and how Obama is basically going off on black men for not supporting Kamala Harris. And then I want to get into the finances a little bit, specifically with regard to YouTubers, because there's a little bit of controversy going on with CJ So Cool. A lot of people may not be familiar with CJ So Cool, but he's a very popular YouTuber that is somewhat of an OG, and so we want to kind of talk about CJ So Cool and him going broke. And then last but not least, shout out to Sean Bill for finally catching a live. What up, what up, what up? And then finally, we definitely want to talk about or open up the phone lines for you guys that have questions. So if you have questions, I will be dropping the link in the chat for y'all to call in. Get your questions off. You know what I'm saying? This is not a smoke show. This is a conversation. If you got questions, if you got financial questions, you got life questions, whatever questions that you have, you will be able to call in. And the amount of time that we can allocate to that will depend on how fast we can get through the other subjects. So we're going to try to power through these other subjects really quickly. And then I'm going to drop the link for y'all to be able to call in and get your thoughts off. If you just got a comment, that's cool too. And we're going to get it in. So what up, what up, what up? Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to everybody that already hit a like for the algorithm. I appreciate you. Shout out to the people that support the platform. I got a lot going on. Dr. Phil episode is dropping on October 16th. I think I might be shooting for Fox News tonight, so we'll see what's happening with that for Laura Ingram's show. And I will be on Hardly Initiated. Hardly Initiated on, I believe, the 21st of October. That's a Monday. But I'm still going to go and do the panel for the Q show. So we got a lot going on, a lot traveling. If you guys have not hit a like for the algorithm, please do so. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We got Block Club tomorrow. That is already scheduled. So if you are not putting that on your calendar, then you need to do so. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. And then last but not least, certainly not least, come and kick it with me in person. Come and kick it with your boy in person. Stop staying in the house. Stop saying Dusty. Stop saying, oh, I'm going to just catch you on a live stream. I'm more fun in person than I am online. All right. So come and kick it with me in person. All of those details is pinned to the top of the chat as well as in the description. Use discount code Anton Come and kick it with me in Atlanta. Come and kick it with me in Detroit. I'm going to be in a city near you. And we're going to be touring all next year. I promise you. City to city, state to state. What up, what up, what up? All right? So what's going on, friends and family? How y'all feel? How y'all feel? Yeah, we definitely going to get it in. We going to get it popping. First and foremost, I got to give a shout out to my girl, Nikki Beach. Says cocktails is on me. Nikki, you looking a little cute in that profile picture. Let me show you some love. ESDC, what up, ESDC? Mike That Dude is in the building. What up to Mike That Dude? And then my girl, Molly. I'm going to see if I can get Molly on tour with me, y'all. I'm going to see if Molly can bake it into her schedule to go on tour with us in 2025. Because she was the one that was holding me down on last Monday night show. What up, Molly? I appreciate you, baby girl. Definitely want to read a few of the super chats before we get started with the show. Says Trini Life, happy 49th birthday to me. Just want to thank God for all of my blessings and more to come. So it is written, so it shall be done. Happy birthday, big dog. We love you. We appreciate you. More life, more life, more life, more life, more life to you. It's a blessing to get older. A lot of people think that they want to stay young forever. Not me. I want to grow into my greatness. Keelan Murray says, out here trunking and slanging Dr. P, DP cases. Tuning into the greatest morning show in the world. Been rocking with you, Anton, since 2020. Shout out to my people that's been OG rocking with me. A lot of people didn't realize that Anton was out here cooking up for years and years and years. So this is not an overnight thing. But it's been a blessing, and I'm going to go over that a little bit later in the show. J Dubs in the building says, they're already blaming black men for Kamala, huh? I appreciate you, bro. We going to get there, J Dubs. We going to get there. So, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. I love y'all. As usual, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, DJ Ace Productions dropping a super chat says, today I will be meeting the chairman and the CEO of Ford Motor Company, Jim Farley, at Dearborn Stamping, along with a few of my other coworkers. I have a few questions of the EV future to ask. Shout out to you. Yes, you know what I forgot to add into this show? I'll add it in the Monday show about the Tesla event. Tesla had an event where they basically was rolling out robo-taxis, a smaller version of the Cybertruck into a robo-taxi, and then also they had the robots, the iRobots and stuff like that. I've been studying that over the last hour or so, probably since I woke up this morning. So, yeah, man. Yeah. It's interesting. A lot going on right now. Jordan is in the building and says, Anton, hope you have a blessed morning. Let's go back, Chasers. Hey, Jordan, I appreciate you. I love you, big dog. Thank you for always holding me down. Chase Barnes says, happy Friday, ADM Peeps. 80 question. Who would you pick for the top Dusty this week? Handful of honorable mentions to go around. Let's see, what happened this week? You don't want to know who my top Dusty is, honest to God. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because people send me stuff all the time and say, hey, man, this person said this about you. This person clipped you up. This person did that or whatever. So my top Dusty, you'll never know that. You'll never know that. Because if you a top Dusty, then that means that I'm not going to necessarily announce it, that it's beyond content. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond content. So I don't know what that is. I will probably give it to 60 minutes. 60 minutes because of the edited footage that is now being exposed about him. But we going to get there. We going to get there. I heard Cam Newton got on, is finally a member of First Take. We're going to talk about that on After Hours. Shout out to my dog, Chase Barnes. I appreciate you, big dog. We going to get in there. We are going to get in there. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. A lot of Dusties out here in these streets. Lucifer says, tell Obama to go suck off T.S. Madison. Trump 2024. Shout out to Lou. You hit me off on Cash App. I appreciate y'all. All right, so listen, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the show. And then I'm going to drop the link in the chat for y'all to be able to call in and get y'all thoughts off. If we got a lot of people in the queue, I'm going to need y'all to speed it up. But that's the expectation, is that I'm going to do call-ins today because it is Friday, and I want to make sure that I add value to everybody's life, all right? I'll read super chats throughout the show. I'll read Cash Apps throughout the show, and we're going to get to it. All right? Y'all ready? Y'all ready to get into the show? Quick Hits. Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we need to have a whole segment dedicated to each and individual thing that we talk about, but we definitely want to keep y'all in the loop on what's going on out in these streets. All right? Let's spend 10 minutes on Quick Hits. First things first, A boy was accidentally shot on Chicago's West Side. 8-year-old boy, person is in custody. Check it out.
Chicago police took someone into custody from the home where the shooting happened. They say they also recovered a gun from inside that house. The 8-year-old boy remains hospitalized this morning. He is undergoing treatment for a gunshot wound to his chest. The shooting happened in Ashburn just before 6 Thursday evening. Police say the child had been shot once. Neighbors told WGN he was alert when paramedics took him from the house near 87th and Hamlin. CPD reported the boy was in fair condition when initially taken to Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn. Community activist Andrew Holmes told us last night that the boy was transferred to Comer Children's Hospital. The only thing police would reveal about the person in custody was it is someone the child knew. What led up to the shooting, that is still unclear. We don't know whether this could have been an accidental shooting. Who else was in the house at the time? Neighbors say it was the heavy police presence that prompted them to come outside.
We never have anything like happen in our neighborhood, so this really concerned us, and we just like look out and we see like a lot of police go inside a house, and we found that really odd. And then we saw a little boy be taken out.
Neighbors say they then saw police taking someone out of the house in handcuffs. There is no word this morning on any charges filed in this case.
This is further proof that guns don't kill people, people kill people. All right, so just because you have it don't mean that you're responsible with it. Somebody gonna catch a charge, and it's unfortunate because the 8-year-old boy is now gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, he didn't ask for that. No 8-year-old should be shot, obviously, but in addition to that, there's also a deadly shooting on a freeway where 2 killers got away, and they saying that it started off with a road rage incident. Check it out.
We have breaking news at 11 o'clock. Death on Interstate 5. A deadly shooting in the middle of packed rush hour traffic shuts down that busy freeway. Tonight, investigators say a pair of freeway killers are still on the loose. Those northbound lanes still closed tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher live for us in Boyle Heights with late-breaking new information. Michelle.
Well, Mark, it was anticipated that this road might be reopened by 1 o'clock this morning, but just moments ago, the CHP saying that the I-5 northbound at Lorena Street will be closed now until further notice. An investigation continuing right now. A tent here in the middle of the freeway covering the vehicle that is at the center of this deadly shooting.
It's scary to know that there's people with bad intentions out there just randomly shooting anybody in the freeway. It's very stressful to know that you could be in that type of danger.
A deadly freeway shooting in Boyle Heights, leaving a community on edge, and the 5 northbound at a standstill. California Highway Patrol spending hours on an investigation centered around this gold Cadillac. A white sheet covering the deceased shooting victim inside. Highway Patrol says it all started around 4 Thursday afternoon.
We had 2 vehicles involved in a road rage incident, a gold Cadillac sedan and a dark-colored Dodge Durango. The gold Cadillac rear-ended an uninvolved vehicle, at which point the occupants of the Dodge Durango exited and started firing upon the occupants of the gold Cadillac.
Investigators say 2 Hispanic men in the Durango got back into the SUV and sped away as the Cadillac made a U-turn the wrong way up the northbound side of the 5, colliding with additional vehicles. The deceased male victim, who was in the passenger side of the Cadillac, reportedly suffering from 5 or 6 gunshot wounds.
The driver of the vehicle was transported and is undergoing surgery currently.
Onlookers gathering on the Lorena Street overpass, watching the investigation below and the traffic that was stalled for hours. Highway Patrol and Caltrans working together to eventually turn the northbound lanes around as the search for clues continued into Thursday night.
This society is very, very scary. Like anything could happen at any time.
4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a major artery, people getting out and walking up on a car, fighting, shooting other people. It's just detrimental to the public safety.
And again, those Durango occupants do remain at large tonight. Investigators say they are looking at video, in particular from a Tesla that was around at the time of this incident, and reviewing that video to hopefully find out more information. They are also asking anyone to come forward if they saw something involved this afternoon. They're asking you to call this number. I believe we have it on the screen for you. It's 323-259-3200. That is for CHP Major Crimes. We are live tonight in Boyle Heights. I'm Michelle Fisher, ABC.
So, yeah, man, be careful. Be careful who you interact with. I'm more and more careful every single day that I don't have any problems in the streets. I don't have any problems dealing with people at all, because I'm just nice to everybody. And if I see somebody or a confrontation over somewhere, because I never, ever get into confrontations in person, I'll just walk away and remove myself from the situation completely. I'm not nosy. I'm not interested in finding out what's going on. I find out on the news once y'all resolve it and the police is there to arrest whoever the culprit is. But I just remove myself from a situation. I don't want to be involved in drama. And the older that I get, the more I'm willing to walk away, because I understand that I'm never going to see you again. But yeah, man, be careful who you interacting with in these streets, because you don't know who got a gun. Everybody got a gun. You got to assume that everybody is strapped nowadays. And then last but not least, y'all was all telling me about this yesterday when I was on After Hours. Trump's fallout, or Detroit representatives are having a fallout with Trump, which Detroit is traditionally a liberal city. Michigan is a swing state. But they're having a fallout after Trump's comments at the Economic Club in Detroit. Check it out.
Fallout from local leaders after Donald Trump warned every city in America could be like Detroit if Kamala Harris is elected. CBS News Detroit's Walter Murphy is live in downtown Detroit. Walter, pretty concerning for the former president to say something like that in the city he's visiting. What are they saying?
Yeah, Terrence, well, it's not every day that a presidential candidate comes to a city to diss the same city that he's standing in, but that's exactly what the former president did this afternoon. Now, it's anyone's guess exactly how this will fare for him come November, but Detroiters have opinions.
The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
Disparaging remarks given.
Why do people hate? Let me ask y'all a question. Why do people take offense or they hate when people say what's really on their minds? Whether you agree with it or not, obviously I disagree with it because I live here and I understand exactly how the city is transformed. But let's be honest, 10, 15 years ago, the city isn't what it was today. It was absolutely a ghost town, and it was the model and the blueprint for how you can run a city into the ground. Back in 2007, 2008, when we filed for bankruptcy, we was like the biggest major city to ever file for bankruptcy. And when a person tells you what their thoughts are or where the direction of the country is going, we see it happening in Chicago, we see it happening in Oakland. Why do people take offense to it instead of trying to understand the context behind it? But anyways, that's just my opinion.
Given by President Donald Trump on Wednesday at a campaign stop in the city has Detroiters up in arms. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan tweeting, "Lots of cities should be like Detroit, and we did it all without Trump's help." Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer also chimed in, saying, "Keep Detroit out of your mouth, and you better believe Detroiters won't forget this in November."
It's no way to try and go out and to attempt to win someone's vote by insulting them in the city that they live in.
Speaker of the Michigan State House Joe Tate says you needn't look any further than Detroit's population growth over the past year as proof that Detroit is booming. He also focused on the cleanliness of the city.
And that's how the city looks right now, to be honest with you. All of those, the new buildings, y'all see me on my vlogs every single morning. The building over to the right is the building that General Motors is moving into. It's been a real great renaissance, I would say, over the last 15 years. Opportunity, economic opportunity. I decided to move back into the city. I got my office in the city. It's a lot of people doing great things, but I'm pretty sure, and I can't put words in his mouth, that the context behind it was what Detroit had become as a result of them filing for bankruptcy in the early 2000s, the early to mid 2000s. But people are so easily offended instead of trying to understand the context. But that's because they was already feeling some type of way about him anyway. And so I don't get mad at when people say things that I may or may not disagree with, or they didn't add the additional context to it. I actually can appreciate that people ain't pandering to me and they just saying what they really feel, and maybe you can educate them if they felt like that way or they wasn't as informed as to how much the city has transformed and how it's become a phenomenal place, and it's booming. It's booming every single day. But, I mean, you know, like I said, Detroit economic leaders, the majority of the leaders that's here in Detroit are liberals. They Democrats. They pander to a Democratic audience. We got a Democratic governor of the state, Gretchen Whitmer, who I absolutely despise. We have a Democratic mayor in Mike Duggan, who I think has done a phenomenal and an excellent job. But again, I think that they're all caping and going for. I found out recently, I was talking to my guy, Kwame Kilpatrick, and he was telling me that Mike Duggan was actually worked for or worked with Biden earlier in his administration and things like that. So, of course, I understand. I get it. They're going to be outraged. It's going to be fake outrage. But if you're doing what you're doing, I'm still voting for Trump. I still think he's the best person for the country.
And an overall reduction in crime, things that he says the former president probably...
Nope, Connie, you're wrong. Not only downtown is booming. Edison, Rosedale Park, Sherwood Forest. It's a lot of places that's booming. But just like any major city, you're going to have the good and you're going to have the bad. And so there's places like the Red Zone that may not be booming as much. And shout out to my guy, HPTV. I rock with you, big dog. Really good content creator on the up and up. He's one of the content creators that I like that's from Detroit that's on the come up. Shout out to HPTV. And then there are cities inside of Detroit that's surrounded by Detroit that may not be doing so well, such as Highland Park. But Metro Detroit and the Detroit area is absolutely on the come up and is booming. Is really one of the greatest economic opportunities as far as investment that people are not familiar with. So there's, just like any good city, just like New York, just like Miami, just like anywhere, there's going to be good and bad. But you just got to look for and understand the context. But I think that people are so easily offended instead of taking that into consideration. But this is what they're saying.
He hasn't spent enough time on the ground in the city to notice.
He hasn't met with Detroiters to talk to them about all of the great things that are going on in the city.
And the Metro Detroiters that we spoke to agree.
And has no idea how much that this city has prospered. And
does she even live here? How do we even know if she live here?
How much people love to be down here.
You know, the city was booming. I mean, there's so many people down here. Every Lions game, Tigers game.
And now you see what the makeup of the city is. It's white people, black people. It's everybody that's down here.
There's always so many people down here.
So we reached out to the Trump campaign to see if they would give any more clarity about those comments that he made this afternoon. And they gave us this statement that reads in part, President Trump remembers when Detroit was lauded as the gold standard for auto manufacturing success and revolutionized the industry. It goes on to say that his policies will usher in a new era of economic success and stability for Detroit, helping the city reach its fullest potential. If you want to read that in full statement, you can find it on our website.
Yeah, I think that people are easily offended, but Detroit is a blue city. It's still mostly black. The majority of the people that's in the city, that's in the inner city, it kind of reminds me of Houston, right? Houston is a blue city. Texas is a red state. Michigan is a swing state. Detroit is a blue city. So the voter turnout rate within the city is going to be low, just like it is in any urban city. But like I said, a lot of people like to get offended because they're not taking responsibility of what our reputation is. The reality is, and I documented how bad it was back when it was bad, back when I first really got into YouTube, but it's changed and it's evolved. And so we just got to be honest with ourselves. The truth is that we have to do more as far as showcasing and representing ourselves for a longer period of time of what the transformation has become, instead of getting offended of what people's opinion of us is. It's not our responsibility to change your opinion. It's our responsibility to be a reflection of the change that we've seen and then let people experience it for themselves. For the NFL draft, people was like, they came here and they said, man, I didn't know it was as good as it is. Okay, when you get an opportunity to put on, you put on. But at the same time, you can't hold people accountable for what their opinion is of the city based off of what their previous experience is. There's people that haven't been here in 20 years and they'll say, oh man, or this, or you know, they go based off of what they think from the media. That's fine, because that's their experience. And it's up to you to over time, change the narrative and showing you that it is the greatest turnaround story in the United States of America. And so I look at that as a challenge. Okay, let us do greater things. Let us be greater at it. Let us show you exactly how great we can become. And then put on for all of the great events and all of the great visitors. And we just going to keep on doing alley-oops and holding ourselves accountable. And I don't get offended at stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's your quick hits. All right, let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get it started with the show. DJ Ace Productions says, oh, yeah, I read that. Shout out to you, DJ Ace. I appreciate you. Chase Barnes, I also appreciated you on this one. For the Dusty's comment. High Tolerance says, good morning, AD. Throw Cali all the way away. They want to limit law-abiding citizens to 10-round capacity while the goons pack 30. No way. They said you better be dead shot. Jeweled Alchemy Soap Company says, happy Friday, and Anton just doing a weekly check-in. Shout out to all of my people. Shout out to everybody that's doing the weekly check-ins. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, get your tickets to come and see me in person. I'm coming to a city near you. All of that is in the description also. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the show. So first things first, I want to spend 10 to 15 minutes talking about now that we're clearing the debris and we get to see exactly how the impacted areas are affected. I want to talk about the death toll and the fact that more than 2 million people are still without power over in Florida. Hit a like for the algorithm. Let's get it popping, y'all.
This morning, the tragic aftermath of Milton coming into focus. The powerful hurricane leaving devastation statewide. In hard-hit Minnesota Key, homes ripped off their foundations, while in Daytona Beach, whole communities swallowed by flooding. In Sarasota, washed up boats and debris littering the streets.
The storm was significant, but thankfully this was not the worst-case scenario.
Still, all across Florida, before and after pictures telling the story. This morning, millions without power remain in the dark. At least 9 cities experiencing record rainfall. First responders helping hundreds during the hurricane.
I want that shirt vehicle so bad, bro. I was looking it up yesterday. I started doing research. This one right here.
First responders.
That one right there, I want that vehicle. I don't even know what I would use it for. I have no reason to get it. I probably won't buy it, but it's just, you know how we are. Us boys with our toys. Man, listen, I be car shopping almost every other day. I follow this content creator. Shout out to all of my content creators. I follow this content creator on YouTube called Bimbley. He's called Bimbley. And he's like a designer, and he goes through. And his channel, he's now approaching. He got 2 different channels. One of his channels is approaching close to 100,000 subscribers. But he reacts to all of the new cars that's coming out. And then he goes through and he compares it to the old version, and he says whether he likes it or not and what he would change. And he goes through and he shows what he would do different, or he designed different ones and all of that stuff. And so he kind of talks about it on that front. And I'm obsessed. I love cars, and I really, really love his channel. So shout out to Bimbley. I've never actually shouted you out before, but shout out to you because I am a subscriber to your channel when I check out all of your drops. But when stuff drop, they dropped the new refreshed version of the Rolls-Royce Ghost yesterday. I said, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. When they dropped the new Aston Martin Vanquish, I'm on the phone, read a call, Aston Martin to ask how long it's gonna take me to get it. 6 months, put down 30,000. Okay, we gotta put a deposit down. Almost every car that I like, I'll be thinking, I'll be in there planning. Okay, listen, all right, so we're gonna build this house, and I'm gonna set aside about $150,000 for that right there. And then when the time comes, 6 months after that, I'll go ahead and make the purchase. Almost every car, I'll be out there redesigning. I'll be on the website looking at it. I don't know. Maybe we should get that is what I love to do in my spare time. I look at houses, I redesign houses, and I look at how I can build a new house. Thankfully, I'm in a position to actually implement that now, and I build them for real. And we're going to talk about that on Block Club tomorrow. But cars, man, every car that come out, I'll be thinking to myself, I need to get a bigger garage. Where I'm going to store it at? Same thing with this shirt vehicle. That's what men do. We love cars. We love cars.
Helping hundreds during the hurricane. More than 500 people rescued from this flooded apartment complex in Clearwater. A 14-year-old boy floating on debris in Hillsborough County, saved. And the Coast Guard rescuing a man miles offshore, clinging to a cooler. In Tampa, some neighborhoods still inundated with water.
Are you surprised to see this amount of water in this neighborhood?
Yes,
his name is Bembly on YouTube.
Floods every year,
it's
but never this.
B-E-M-B-L-I. B-E-M-B-L-I. Tell him I sent you. His name is Bembly. B-E-M-B-L-I. It's on YouTube. It's dope. Actually, I'll drop his link into the description just for the people that want to check it out. He got a really great channel.
Rescuers going door to door, finding this woman in her 90s who struggles to see in a flooded home all alone.
She was scared and didn't want to leave, and they finally just convinced her to get on the boat and get out of harm's way.
Many residents in Milton's path prepared for the hurricane, but were overwhelmed by a string of tornadoes it spawned.
Walked outside and annihilated. The neighborhood annihilated.
According to initial reports, at least 38 tornadoes touched down. From above Port St. Lucie,
38?
you can see homes and everything in them shredded.
See, that's the thing. We focus mostly on just the big cities like the Tampa. Oh my God, Tampa, they survived, they missed it. It's a trillion smaller cities that's all around it that's absolutely destroyed and decimated. And yes, people was dying. And so again, one life, let alone 10 lives, let alone 14 lives, 20 lives, that they're now finding people in this debris area that failed to evacuate and said that we're gonna hold it down. See, we don't never had no conversation about them because dead people can't tell their stories. They can't tell their stories how they was probably like, oh my God, right before it was the end, man, I should have evacuated. Oh my God, I should have evacuated. 38 tornadoes? Should have got up out of there, man.
From above Port St. Lucie, you can see homes and everything in them shredded.
Crazy, bro.
There were 6 fatalities alone from a tornado that struck Fort Pierce. But as Floridians pick up the pieces, despite being traumatized by hurricane after hurricane, many residents say they're committed to rebuilding.
I think we all give each other the strength to continue.
Steph, boy, there's so much work to be done, but what are some of the biggest challenges that officials are facing going forward?
Well, Hoda, those rescues, first of all, that is their priority. Once they get the rescues, there are so many logistical challenges. They have the power we mentioned. There are still 2.4 million people without power. They also have to restore water. There's a water pump, a vital water pump here in the city of Tampa that needs to be restored. And then for people in this neighborhood, this is a low-income neighborhood. All of these people have been displaced. They need someplace to live, and not just short-term, but likely long-term. All of these are going to be huge challenges in the days to come, Hoda.
Yeah. It's a lot of fallout from this, and a lot of people is just not taking it into consideration. Here's a small town from a content creator. His name is, let me make sure I get it right, Jonathan Petramala. Jonathan Petramala has 124,000 subscribers, and so he was on the ground in some of these small towns actually documenting what happened. Look at that destruction. Look at that damage.
Calling something a 1-2 punch is a cliche, but when it's Hurricanes Helene and Milton, it's a knockout. South of Tampa, 75 miles, residents of towns like Minnesota Key and Grove City, who thought they'd already survived the worst storm of their lives, learned worse has no limit.
That was Helene.
Okay.
And then I don't have my marker got floated away, so I can't. But the black tape is where this one is, this Milton.
Wow.
Yeah, Helene, it ruined your insulation underneath, okay, and your vapor barrier, and obviously the particle board, this kind of stuff, the original flooring.
Yeah.
And then your top flooring, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be getting up out of there, bro. I ain't standing.
It's fixable. We'll go put more money in it, but now it's like.
Well, the construction industry is never going to be short of opportunity, considering that people always want to rebuild. Lowe's and Home Depot, maybe I need to go and look into their stock, especially after hurricane season.
Completely rebuild the whole thing inside.
But after Hurricane Milton, and this old Florida trailer park still standing on its foundation isn't just luck, it's a luxury.
Harry's trailer, see his front porch, that cement?
That's the front porch.
That was like mine, kind of.
Yeah.
His trailer was all the way over there on that side, up against that.
And it was moved how many feet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wow, 50 feet?
Yeah.
And this is from Milton?
Milton, yes.
Not Helene?
No, not Helene.
It was still standing from Helene over there. There's no other way to describe it, but it's significant, the storm surge from Hurricane Milton. This was the front porch of this home that was pushed at least 50 feet into the neighbor's house. Just next door.
Look at the steps still there.
That house caught on fire overnight. Everywhere, homes are a total loss here. And before Hurricane Helene, people who live here say they'd never seen water inside their home before.
It was my wife's grandparents put it here, and then my wife's parents took it over, and they owned it since then, and they passed, and we acquired it, and been in the family for, well, 50 years almost.
Well, no more.
Now it's gone.
Time to move, big dog.
I mean, this, of course, is the carport.
Yep.
Which, you know, is history. Oh, the carport. What I built stayed. What was here.
Yeah, this frame here, yep.
This was our lanai. This was our lanai, and I mean our kitchen was there in the living room, and you know, this is what we got now.
This is the part of life that people don't talk about. They say, oh yeah, you know what, Tampa was okay. Every other small town that was around it is destroyed because it wasn't just about the waves. It wasn't just about the storm surge. It was also about the wind. It was about the tornadoes. It was about all of that. And so, you know, it's 2 million people still without power. They still finding bodies. Everything is flooded and people have been displaced. So at the end of the day, they still don't have no home. They still ain't got nothing to come back to. Y'all keep being Florida strong, though.
So many people, they see the hurricanes and they watch the videos. They see the repeated hurricanes and they say, who lives in Florida? Why do you live here? I mean, I guess I can guess just by looking right there.
There you go. You know?
Hurricanes like Milton, they don't just rip apart homes. They unravel the threads of entire communities. Friendships, neighbors, the shared history of a place, gone in a night, scattered like debris.
That's going to be a question for everybody.
She's snowburned. She's sunburned.
Unfortunately, a lot of the renters
been
around
her whole life. Now she turned into a leather bag. I see people like that all the time. They be tanning their whole life. They be under the tanning beds and they always in the sun. Then they be looking like a raisin. Looking just like some cowhide. Just like my Gucci jacket. They be looking just like my Gucci jacket, they skin. Like rubber. Been tanning their whole life. Now you ain't got no home to go to.
around here are going to rent to seasonal people and not to the actual residents. So I don't know where we're all going to go.
We have a new high water mark in this neighborhood of Inglewood. It's close to the bridge to go out to Minnesota Key. It's about 5.5 feet. It appears just from the outside of these homes. And what is just incredibly sad, everyone in this neighborhood just suffered through catastrophic storm surge from Hurricane Helene 2 weeks ago. And you can see just how much work was done to demolish and remove and pile up to try and start that rebuilding process. And then everything has just completely started over. It's a mess. Everything's been scattered, lifted, tossed around.
Everything's all over the place now. I mean, none of this shit is mine. Their stuff is mine, and that car's toast, and now they can't even tow it out of here.
Was this bad
I don't even know
before?
where to start to get this stuff cleaned up now.
Don't worry about it. Hey, listen, anybody that and shout out to Jonathan. Make sure y'all go and check out his channel also. Anybody that's buying a car from Florida, don't. Do the Carfax. If it's from Florida, water damp, get up out of there. That's a hurricane vehicle. All right, it's going to be a lot of vehicles that hit the market from flood damage. Don't buy it. Don't buy nothing used. Just stay out the way because it's a Milton or a Helene vehicle. All right? Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Kwame Brown mentioned you. Shout out to my dog, Kwame. Kwame is my dog. I like Kwame. I done appeared on this platform a few times. Brambo says, please tell me you watched the town hall atrocity. What town hall atrocity? Check out CJ on 32. Yeah, I'm familiar with him too. I heard he was talking about it. We're going to get to CJ So Cool in a minute. Bass says, I wonder how Los is doing in Tampa. He should follow up. Appreciate you. Chase Barnes in the building says, AD, you can use it for the heavy snowstorm in Detroit. Then get another for your family in Florida during the hurricane season. See, useful. No, we don't have snowstorms like people think that we do. Once every blue moon, once every 20 years, we'll have one where the whole streets or whatever. But most of the time when it snows, they plow the streets, that junk melt away within a couple days. Don't drink yellow snow. You know what I'm saying? J. Ben says, thanks for the new car channel. I'm about to nerd out. It's dope. Bembley, tell him Anton from AntonDaniels.com sent you. Yvette Marie says, people online were upset because the airlines raised prices on people just trying to get out. Thoughts? We live in a capitalistic society. Go tell Kamala Harris to go after the people that's purging or the people that's price gouging. That's what she says she's going to go. We're going to go after the bad actors? Tell Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? Diddy, we're going to spend 10 minutes on this. Denied bail again. Trial is set for May. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. All this does is guarantee us more content going into 2025. I know the lead attorney going to kill it on this trial. In May, lead attorney going to probably make $1 million.
CNN's Kara Scannell is outside of the courthouse. Kara, tell us what happened.
So, Brianna, the judge has set a May 5th trial date for Sean Diddy Combs to face those charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation of prostitution. Now, Diddy was in court today. He entered the courtroom wearing a jail-issued outfit, a khaki long-sleeve shirt, pants. He was also shackled at the ankles. His family members were in the courtroom, his mother and most of his children. He had waved to them, blew a kiss to his mother, and one of his sons had raised and flexed his arm, his bicep, as though to show a sign of strength. Now, this hearing was mostly about procedural issues, working through some of the evidence in the case. Prosecutors said they collected 96 devices back in that March search of Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami. And when they searched him on his person, they said they'd begun going through them, encrypting some of them and giving them back to the defense. That will take some time. There are going to be some motions in this case. One of those was addressed today. Now, if the judge does not need them back in court, the next time we will see Combs back in court will be in December. Brianna?
And this comes after his legal team made some pretty stunning accusations, Kara, about that now infamous video of Combs beating his former girlfriend as she tried to leave a hotel room. What exactly are they saying?
Yeah, that was one of the issues that was teed up yesterday for this hearing today, and that's what they spent a lot of time on in the courtroom. Combs' attorneys had asked for an investigation into leaks, saying that they believe the government alerted the press not only of the video, but also of the searches at his homes in March. But this video is something that prosecution said that there's no need for this. They have said that they did not obtain this video until after CNN has aired it. Obviously, we're CNN. We have declined to comment on these allegations, but the prosecution said that they did not have this until after it was already made public by us, and that there's no need for an investigation. Said this.
So there you go. And I said that the federal government depends on YouTubers and national news outlets before they go and do anything. They wasn't even really investigating Diddy until CNN dropped the video. They didn't even have no evidence. They ain't had nothing on them. So the minute that CNN dropped the video, that's when they started launching their investigation, and that's when they raided his homes in New York, Los Angeles, and Miami, and then that's when they started launching an investigation. Like I said, the court of public opinion is usually the ones that get people convicted, and that's similar to what happened to Cosby, it's similar to what happened to Epstein, it's similar to what happened with the Me Too movement, and it's happening right now with Diddy. So when people don't like each other, and that's why I say that Jay-Z, he playing this exactly how he's supposed to. When people don't like each other, that's when they start getting convicted in the court of public opinion, and then it translates over in the federal government.
This is just an attempt to try to keep a damning piece of evidence out of this case. Now, the judge said he is not going to decide today on whether they should have a hearing. He's going to let the sides file their legal briefs and their legal arguments on this. But one thing that Combs' lawyers did ask for is what they called a gag order. They want the prosecution to be stopped from talking about any grand jury evidence in this case or any non-public evidence. Now, prosecutors never really discussed discuss that publicly before a trial. And the judge said, in fact, that because that is the rule, he said, is there any harm in imposing this? And the prosecutor had asked the judge to make it reciprocal, to stop Combs's lawyers from saying anything more about any of the evidence in this case. They cited an interview that Combs's lawyer had given to TMZ in which he suggested that the government was trying to, he accused the government of making a takedown of a successful black man. They said they wanted him to stop talking about that. Combs's lawyer said that if this does go into place, these restrictions on statements, he would abide by it. So the judge asked him to draft what this order would be, send it to him, and he would sign it. So we will learn in the coming days of exactly the contours of what they're prevented from.
I wonder how long this trial is going to be. That's what I'm wondering, because we still talking about the YSL trial. We don't know what the heck is happening with Young Thug. That trial had been going on for, what, a year and a half or something like that? Gotta be broke. Lawyers in charge of the arm and the leg.
Less than a month after being indicted.
Ain't that crazy? He was just at the, what is this, the Met Gala or something like that? He had on the black hookup with the black roses. Young Miami was sitting there right next to him, probably just got done doing a freak off. He had just got the key to the city from Eric Adams over there in New York. And then right after that, in 2023, he was a superstar. He was on Invest Fest with EYL, and he was talking about his lawsuit that he was about to file against Diageo, and everybody was loving him and saying, yeah, black people need to own things and all of this other type of stuff. And then 1 year later, less than 1 year later, denied bail for a third time, facing a trial in 2025, paying out a million lawsuits. Everybody, all of a sudden, they got diddled by the diddler, and everything is going down. Less than 1 year later, your life can change in 1 year. Russell Simmons ain't thinking about coming over here to the United States of America. He said, I'm going to stay over here in Bali, or whatever he is, Indonesia, acting like he just over there for the palm trees doing yoga. No. Russell Simmons says, nope, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. You can't come see me. Let my daughters talk about me. Let Kimora Lee talk about it. I made my Baby Fat money. I made my Def Jam money. I did my Rush Car money. I did my Fat Farm money. And I'm not coming back to the United States of America. How ironic that he just so happened to end up building a hotel in a place where he can do yoga that don't extradite to the United States of America. Russell Simmons, he said, I'm not coming back. Nope. I'm not coming back. Nope.
Sean Diddy Combs now set to go to trial. A federal judge setting a May 5th trial date for the music mogul who remains behind bars. Arriving in court Thursday in pain jail clothes. Prosecutors revealing they may file a superseding indictment with new or additional charges against him.
Any message you want to send your father?
Among his supporters in the packed courtroom, Combs' children and mother, who said in a statement on Instagram this week, he is not the monster they have painted him to be. The racketeering and sex trafficking indictment unsealed last month, accusing Combs of abusing women for decades, orchestrating coerced sex parties he allegedly referred to as freak-offs. Prosecutors say he silenced victims through blackmail and violence.
This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
Let me tell you something, bro. I still believe that these people are doing a money grab, and that all of these grown folks, Joe Budden couldn't wait to get to the Diddy event. I remember when he did the Diddy event. I remember. Everybody, every single celebrity, all of them celebrities, all of them podcasters, they couldn't wait to go and be at the white event. They wanted to go to Jay-Z Diddy white party, then to go to the Diddy after party. Yeah, man, listen, man, we up. We hanging out with billionaires. Oh, this suit is pastel. Billionaires row. I believe that all of those people willingly participated, volunteered their time, their services, and their bunghole to get into the room with these people that was doing stuff that they knew wasn't right, that was unseemly, and they volunteered themselves as tribute. I still believe that all of these people volunteered themselves and they were willing participants And they knew what it was. Man, ain't nobody crazy. Nobody is crazy. Hey, man, it's a whole bunch of baby oil over there. The after party start after the after party. And they were and they were return visitors. Because all of them people, they didn't just go to one party. They was hoping to get invited back to the next one. They was hoping to go back to the next one. Yes, they were. Now, everybody want to get ahead of it. Oh, I didn't know what was going on. Then why you come back to the second party and to the third party and said, I heard y'all got some new Ciroc Peach? I'm still of the belief that these people is all dirty. I don't believe them. I don't think that he did anything that he wasn't doing with everybody else that was doing it too. He just so happened to be the biggest person as a result of it.
Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
How's he doing?
He's doing fine. He's making an adjustment.
Combs has been behind bars in a Brooklyn jail since his September arrest. His latest bid for immediate release denied by a federal appeals court Thursday. As his legal
Somebody said the Kid Cudi volunteered to have his car blown up. Man, don't talk to me about no Kid Cudi. I know dudes that's in the hood right now messing with somebody else's chick or messing with somebody else's wife. And knock, knock, who's there? Getting their house kicked in. That's normal. I'm not saying that it's right, but it's normal. I know dudes right now that decided that they wanted to cross over to the threshold and talk to the wrong dude's girl, and they played it wrong and they got done wrong. Man, look, all of this stuff is not new. The only reason that we given any credence to it is because it's from celebrities. Because they do it to celebrities. It's people in real life that's right up the street. I seen a dude grab his chick up by her collar and drag her up the street the other day. I said, ooh, I wonder what she done did. Who she done pissed off? I was in J. Alexander's. I documented. I was in J. Alexander's and the dude came in and she was getting a little frisky. She was getting a little too comfy next to me. Dude came in and grabbed her up. Get your ass out here. Dragged her right out on into the car. I said, ooh, you shouldn't have been here. You shouldn't be at this bar. Hey, somebody call the police. I'm not about to go and rescue that chick. Y'all remember that? Remember when I was sitting in J. Alexander's and I documented it and the girl was getting a little too frisky? Dude came in there and grabbed it. Get your ass. Get on out here. I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you what happens every single day. Dude grabbed her up by her shirt. I was just sitting there looking like, that's crazy. Hey, bar, y'all should call the police. It was in my comments, you ain't defender. I don't know her. I don't know him. I don't know what they got going on. And they got nothing to do with me. That is the police's job. I'm going to do my due diligence and making sure that they called the police. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know you. Grabbed her right on by her shirt. Man, listen, these people know what they got going on. They know who they talking to. They know who they getting involved in. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
The team continues to appeal his pretrial detention and fight against the looming threat of additional civil suits.
The reason for denying bail was that he might threaten victims, the defendant, and could obstruct justice. Some of them live in fear.
Prosecutors also referencing a mountain of possible evidence, confirming they seized nearly 100 of his electronic devices. Among the possible evidence at trial,
I don't want to get into that. I ain't going to show that part. I don't like that part. That's not my thing. Anyways, the point is that I just want to keep y'all up to date on the bail was denied for a third time. Diddy is still in cuffs. He's chilling. He smiled at his family. He blew a kiss to his mama, gave the strong arm up. And trial is set for May, all right? So we just wanted to spend 10 minutes on that. Again, for those of you that's just joining into the live stream, I will be doing a call-in and a couple of segments. I'm going to be dropping a link in the chat roughly about 20 minutes from now. I'll be dropping a link in the chat for you guys to be able to, you don't have to cam up. You can just call in if you want to. for you guys to be able to call in and get your questions off. I'm going to switch it up on a Friday and allow for y'all to be able to get your thoughts off, all right? Brambo says, Kamala's Latino Town Hall is what I'm from. Okay. Email it to me so I can react to it. I'll drop that video today. Green Blaze, the Fly Eagle says, you like that show BMF? Never watched it before. I don't really watch TV like that. Tack Smith says, coaching call last night was dope. Was surprised. Anton is exactly the same dude on the show as he is in person. Shout out to the real. Hashtag to the chasers. Shout out to everybody that never got a coaching call with me. I give all of the game. I give all of the game that I can possibly give in the time that we have allotted to speak. Shout out to my dog, Tack Smith. That was a great coaching call. What in the World TV says, how do they let out stone cold evil people out on bail and act like celebrities are Jack the Ripper? You said it, not me. Let's move on to the show, or let's move on to the next part of the show. Obama is trying to save the Kamala Harris campaign, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. All right, first things first, all right? There's a lot of controversy around this, and when I was reviewing the video on 60 Minutes and then they blocked the video from me being able to show it, don't worry, I'm disputing it. We're going to get it back up, but they're saying that the dispute can last within like 27 more days or something like that. We gave a lot of praise to 60 Minutes for actually asking the questions and pressing on the questions that we thought was pertinent to the American people. And we thought that they did a good job. But the producers and the network, obviously, they're saying that people are saying that the interview was edited because Kamala Harris's team wanted to take some stuff out of there that she messed up on. So whereas we hold Trump accountable for the things, for example, that he said in Detroit and all of that, and I don't even think it was that bad. I just think that it was original thought. They don't come in with a prerequisites as to what you can and can't do. They saying that the campaign and Kamala Harris forced CBS to heavily edit the video. Didn't stop them from airing it, but to heavily edit the video because they didn't like how it represented her. And it already had represented her pretty bad even with the edited version. But yeah, man, they saying that, you know, it's a controversy. It's a big thing. Check it out.
Listen to this controversy here. Former CBS staffers are reportedly calling for an independent investigation after the network aired two different answers to the same question during a 60 Minutes interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, the first version aired during a promotional clip on Sunday night, while the second, shorter answer aired during 60 Minutes on Monday. Listen to both back to back.
It seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this.
Yeah. That's dirty. That's dirty. That's super dirty. I can't believe that they let them bully them like that and put this out the way today. Because obviously the other one was pretty incoherent and she didn't know what she was saying and all of that. And so we don't know what they really did leave out and how much of it was super edited so that it wouldn't paint her in an even worse light that we seen her in this situation. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
This war to end.
Wow. Joe Conscious, a Fox News contributor, joins us now. Joe, I want to be crystal clear about something. This is not a thing that we do in the media. Yes, you may not always air the full answer to a question, but you never, ever put the answer to question B with question A. So why would the esteemed journalists at the paragon of virtue, 60 Minutes, think they could get away with such a thing?
I keep reading so-called media reporters defending this, like, who've never worked, by the way, ever in an actual newsroom, say, oh, this is very common to do this. No, Why, if you're CBS News, would you promote 60 Minutes with a clip of Kamala Harris saying one thing and then during the interview not play that clip and air something completely different? Oh, that's right. The clip you promoted made her look horrible, as what usually happens when she's outside of a teleprompter. And then the clip that you actually played was something that made her sound a bit more competent, I guess. Either way, it's very simple, Todd, if you're CBS News. Release the entire interview on CBSNews.com. Let everyone see it from start to finish without any edits, any jump cuts. And while you're at it, release the transcript as well. But CBS, they only released the transcript of the edited portion of the video. Why is that, CBS? We don't know, because Fox News has reached out to CBS News to say, why aren't you releasing the whole interview? And they won't even respond. This is the same news division that screams about the importance of transparency, and they're being anything but transparent here. I mean, this is journalistic malfeasance. And now the story is far less about Kamala's actual answer after the edit and much more about 60 Minutes and their ethics or lack thereof. And this completely justifies Donald Trump's decision to not do this interview on CBS, because they would have edited him the exact opposite way. They would have taken him and put him in the worst light, because that's CBS News these days. That's the exact opposite of what it was under Edward R. Murrow and Walter Cronkite. That is certainly for sure.
Well,
I don't even like doing pre-recorded interviews anymore, unless people are really willing to go live with me and just say what they want to say and all of that. I don't even prefer to do interviews in person. I'd rather live stream them, and then you just talk to the people and let the people decide what they want to do. That's kind of my new thing. I don't know. But then at the same time, even though this whole controversy is going off, Obama is on the campaign trail. And one of the things that he's doing is he's doing the same thing as Roland Martin. He's doing the same thing as Ricky Smiley. He's doing the same thing as Steve Harvey. He's doing the same thing as Charlemagne. And they're going off on black men. Now, this is courtesy of CNN. They're going off on black men for not supporting Kamala Harris. Take a look.
Barack Obama is back on the campaign trail, and he's making the case against Donald Trump. But before his guest feature in Pennsylvania, Obama made a surprise visit to Kamala Harris's campaign headquarters in Pittsburgh. It was there that he got candid, maybe a little too candid if you are in the vice president's inner circle tonight. He warned that Harris is underperforming him with black voters, and he had a message specifically for black men.
Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down.
Oh, because we don't want to support Kamala Harris and we got our own reasons. Now that translates into us putting women down. They pulling out all of the stops, ain't they? They pulling out all of the stops. So because we can think for ourselves and we can make up our own mind, they pulling out they star. I mean, Barack Obama to the Democratic Party is their final form. If all else fails and we're starting to see pullback and people not really showing up for Kamala Harris anymore, and Roland Martin can't get him in the door, and Stephen A. Smith and all of these little celebrities, and we still not rocking with them, you pull out Obama to go ahead and hold us accountable. So because we've learned how to think for ourselves and we making the best decision for ourselves based off of what's best for our family and our lives and our economic future, all of a sudden we're putting down women because we don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. This is disrespectful. Honestly, I look at this as one of the biggest signs of disrespect, because You can't bully me into doing something that I don't want to do. I don't identify with her. I think that her policies is bad, and I think she's a horrible candidate. And nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, in this entire election season has ever given me one reason why we should vote for Kamala Harris, especially considering what we've experienced over the last 3.5 years. And you got Obama going off on black men and holding us accountable because we don't want to vote for her. And I thought it was our freedom to do what we wanted to do. And if they decide that they don't want to vote, then that's their choice. If they decide that they don't want to vote for her, then that's their choice. If they decide that they want to vote for Trump, then that's their choice. When did it become cool to go off on people as a former president for not supporting the person that you want to become president of the United States of America and go off on a whole generation of men? Because we learn how to think for ourselves, because we operate in our masculinity. This is word for word. This is what he's saying. A person that left us with a legacy of the alphabet community is now holding us accountable and telling us that we're putting down women because we choose not to vote for Kamala. Because we chose not to vote for Kamala Harris. This is crazy. This is insane. Boy, they pulling out all of the stops, ain't they?
That's not acceptable.
Let me play it again for the people in the back.
Because you think that's supporting somebody?
Hold on.
You're coming up with a feeling. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for it.
This is what y'all get for supporting
So now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
CNN political commentator Errol Lewis is in our 5th seat for this conversation. Errol, I guess he knew the cameras were there. It was an unscheduled stop, but that message was so pointed. In addition to him making it very clear, Kamala Harris is not doing what she needs to do with this core Democratic constituency.
That's right. Although he is asking her, let's be clear, to go over a very high hurdle. Barack Obama got historic levels of black voter registration and turnout and support, and he did it twice. It was almost inevitable that it was going to swing more toward the long-term average of a handful of black voters.
Can I interrupt you for just a moment, just to show you something here? Because we went back, looked at 2020 exit polls. Biden got 92% of the black vote. Right now, according to Quinnipiac, this is in Pennsylvania, according to Quinnipiac, Harris is at 78. It's a big gap in this state right now. And that can be closed because Biden is not Barack Obama.
Biden is not, well, he was Obama's running mate. Certainly some spillover there. But you cannot ask of every black candidate in the post-Obama era, you've got to come up with 92% of the black vote every time. That is just not a reasonable assumption.
Let me get Sage Steele. So Sage Steele recently went on Fox News to give her take on what is happening with this whole Obama simping for Kamala Harris campaign. Take a look at what she had to say.
Sage Steele, host of the Sage Steele podcast, back on prime time. How you doing, Sage?
I'm great, Jesse. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, too. Obama doesn't look great. He looks worried, and he's mad at the brothers for not coming out for Harris. Do you think the magic from the Messiah is going to be enough to drag the best-looking attorney general in America across the finish line?
What I think versus what I want, actually, I think this answer is the same. To me, no. Because right now it's obvious that they are in panic mode. That's why, and again, I just moved to the state of Florida, the free state of Florida, as we say. And one of the reasons is because I'm trying to escape the way my state up north in Connecticut had been run because of people like Kamala, and frankly, because of Barack Obama as well. But at the end of the day, The optics have been disturbing if I take a step back and put my biases aside and say, okay, what is this campaign doing? And to bring him in now after what? The complete flub with how they handled the storm, Hurricane Helene in particular, and coming off of the major pushback, she's gotten crushed from going on the podcast, Call Her Daddy, and then, of course, drinking beer with Stephen Colbert. How about those optics, by the way?
Yeah.
Like,
And
they
all the
plan
smoke.
that ahead to pick the kind of beer she's going to drink. Do you think people buy that? So this is panic. However, if I'm their campaign, I would be doing the exact same thing because people now go, oh my gosh, where is Barack Obama? I hope that for the sake of our country, not because I like Donald Trump better or her less, for the sake of our country, based on what? What we've already seen for 4 years from 2016 through 2020, how our country was safer in every aspect, how our economy was so much better. I really hope that people can once again put aside all the personalities, focus on the policies, and just be honest. If you have to plug your nose when you go in there to vote, do it. But at the end of
I agree. I agree with everything she's saying.
the day, this desperation ploy right now, I think we can all kind of see what's happening.
I mean, even Barack Obama said it himself. He said, Americans are struggling. I understand why people want change. People are frustrated. I mean, we are living in a Biden-Harris world, and he's saying, I get it. You don't like these people. You don't want to be here anymore. But he's saying, not Donald Trump. You got to go Harris. That argument doesn't make any sense. She just said she's no different than Joe Biden. Sage?
She did. She
I
said
think
it on The
Barack's
View.
lost his touch.
That's the thing. I mean, what else can he say? They are actually between a rock and a hard place, right? You're trying to say, no, bring me in because I represent change. I'll make you better. Change from what? The same 4 years that you've been a part of? And you say all the time, we. So which one is it, right? And they don't know what to say. They think that people are so dumb and so anti-Trump, which many are, that they're just going to ignore the facts and focus just on him. I hope that we as voters are better than that.
Well, yep, they brought out the big guns, ladies and gentlemen. They've decided that they wanted to pull out Barack Obama in order to be able to hold y'all accountable for not voting for Kamala Harris. Now we all misogynistic. Now we all red pill. CJC Love says, Anton, do you believe Obama will help her with black men? I don't think scolding black men is a good idea. Nope. We don't care nothing about what Obama think. We don't even like him no more. Chase Barnes says, even Obamacare can't save Kamala. We don't care nothing about what Obama think. Obama care more about the alphabet community than he do us. Should have started booing him out the building. No, they not going to do that. Latrell M says, Harpo, who this man talking to like that? I don't know who he talking to. He talking to you, black men. Stevie Montage Official says, y'all remember when Obama got caught partying during the pandemic on Erykah Badu Live? Matthew Adams says, I'm from Pittsburgh. We don't care about Kamala or Obama. Obama helped the uprise of the alphabet community, especially in the federal prison. I can't get down with that. We don't forget. It takes us a little while to catch on, but we're not going to forget. It's very disrespectful, and not even Barack can get us to vote for her. I know reverse psychology when I hear it, trying to get us mad. Mr. Joe says, I'm not going to let these Democrats gaslight me into voting for their demonic agenda. Trump 2024. See, that's what I like to see. That's what I want to hear. That's what I like, Mr. Joe. Let me make sure I acknowledge these cash apps also. Give me a second. Shout out to Christopher. Christopher Donaldson in the building says Obama is a sucker. Respect, Time Dog. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I want to talk about this whole situation with CJ So Cool. But before I do so, I know we got almost 4,000 people in here on YouTube alone. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Make sure you tap into the Patreon, and then the tickets to come and see me is in the description also. All right, all of that is in the description. After this CJ So Cool segment, because I know that they're talking about him going broke and stuff like that. Thank you, Mark the Guardian. I'm going to read that shortly. I am going to open up the lines for y'all to call in and get y'all thoughts off. If you got a question, you just want to make a comment, anything that you want to say, we're going to switch it up for this Friday. We're going to see how I go. And I'm going to open up the lines for y'all to be able to get y'all thoughts off. You do not have to be on camera. If you got a question for me, it's up to you. But I am going to drop that in the chat, and I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat for y'all to be able to call in and get y'all thoughts off, all right? I'll take in as many as I can. We're going to get through this CJ So Cool situation really quickly. Let's only spend 10 minutes on it, all right? So again, what's going on with this is that CJ So Cool is what I like to call an OG YouTuber. Anybody that's been in the game for longer than I would say 6-7 years, I would consider an OG YouTuber. I would consider myself an OG YouTuber. Got multiple different channels, been doing this for a long time. I've reinvented myself multiple different times based off of my circumstances. And I would think that my audience have grown with me. Let me say that again. My audience has grown with me. I don't make content for children and then those children age out. And I kind of look at CJ So Cool's situation like the child stars, the child actors, a thing that you got great for or you got big for. Your audience then grew up. They 20, 21, 22, 23 years old. And so they're in college and stuff now. And so they're not necessarily into the family drama and things like that. Even when you think about stuff that is blew up during the pandemic, right? I remember when the Fresh and Fits and people was enamored by the fact that, oh my God, he kicked some women out of the door and all of that type of stuff. I don't really think that people care about that or they checking for that anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't watched Fresh and Fit at all. I mean, I wasn't their target audience and demographic at all anyway. But I think that people want to grow. They want to evolve. They want to change. And so I would rather my audience stay loyal and grow slowly and they change with me than for them to outgrow me and completely leave me alone. However, right, I haven't been following CJ So Smooth. I don't watch his content. It's not for me, but I am aware of who he is and the impact that he's made as a YouTuber and how a lot of other people have followed in his footsteps. As of today, he has over 9 million subscribers. I don't know what his engagement is like, but I do know that there was a video that showed up on my algorithm the other day that basically him talked about him being depressed and then ultimately going broke. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm going to fast forward to the point where he actually speaks about the money aspect of it because this is I think it's like a 20-something minute video. And he also put on this why this will be my last video. As of the recording of this video, got over 9 million subscribers, like I said. And I want to play one of who used to be one of his friends that then commented on his situation. And then I'm going to give my thoughts on it to help y'all to understand why you don't believe in rappers, YouTubers, entertainers, because eventually they all going broke and they financially illiterate. Don't believe what they sharing with you as far as all of the optics. Only pay attention to what really happens when they show you the receipts. But he's now saying this is going to be his last video. And I don't know if that's clickbait or not, but I want to fast forward over into a point of the video where he kind of talks about him being depressed and his finances, all right?
Pay some cash. If I pay for somebody dinner, if I pay for somebody's stuff in Walmart, Target, I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a real blessing. And blessings feel good. So if you're depressed and you can afford to bless somebody, even if it's small, go out and do that. Try that. Try helping a homeless person because they really depressed. There's always levels to everything. There's levels to success. There's levels to depression. And you can be a top tier depressed motherfucker, but there's always going to be somebody more depressed than you. Trust me. So some of y'all may think, man, I'm going through it. But look at me. I've been going through it. So we all depressed. Not all of us, because I know I keep saying that, but some of y'all good. I know y'all gonna be in the comments like, I'm good, I don't got no worries in life. But that's you. Some of us do have actual problems, and we actually think about it all the time, which causes depression. I got PTSD. I was shot. Y'all know I was in the Navy. A lot of stuff I went through in the Navy, I ain't never talked about. Got PTSD from that. Y'all know I grew up in the murder capital, Gary, Indiana. I was born in the 80s. I was raised in the 90s. Look it up. I was raised around murder and drug usage. Y'all know about my parents, how they was. Y'all know everything about me. So imagine how much depression I've been sitting on for how many years. And now I'm finally able to talk about it. So hopefully you guys are connecting with this video in a way you've never connected before. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully I hit some good points for you guys. And if there's more that you need from this topic, just comment. Just comment. I'm not ashamed to come out and talk about it anymore. It happened now. It's over. We done did the hard part. I know I'm gonna have haters. I hope to God I don't make it to no shade room posts, none of them people, because you know they like to cut things, make them real short and specific, and make you look crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm doing good. I get my kids on Thursday. We going to have a good time like we always do. And as long as I'm working out, eating healthy, and smiling, just know I'm in a better place than I was last month, and the month before that, and the month before that. Because technically, I've been depressed since September 2023, but nobody didn't know that. As soon as 2K came out, I indulged in it. I never looked back. I stopped working in. So last year in September, I really stopped working. Y'all probably remember I ain't do no videos for months. Then I was going through the custody battle with the twins' mom. That alone added a ton of depression. So anybody going through anything like that, I feel you. I know exactly what you're going through. And trust me, you are not alone. There's a lot of women out there, a lot of men out there going through the same thing. So one thing hit me after another. It just kept hitting me and it never stopped. The next thing I know, my income went from I was making $200,000 a month to $100,000 a month to $30,000 a month to whatever. I'm like, whoa, I ain't used to this. But
after all of that, and I want to preface this by saying I'm never one to kick somebody while they down. I believe in battling when it comes to content creation, and I'm a better content creator than you. I'm going to do bigger numbers than you on live streams or whatever like that. We're going to work. We're going to see who better over a period of time. But as far as personal issues with people, when they going through stuff, when they having financial issues, when they dealing with stuff with family, I tend to try to stay away from that because, again, I don't have any personal ill will towards people, especially people that I don't know. But when you decide to put the information out there, I have to react to it, right? And so I believe personally that all of this perceived depression, and I think that people overuse certain words. They overuse depression. They overuse toxic masculinity. They overuse narcissism. They overuse a lot of different words, right? Anybody could say that they depressed because they ain't got no more money or their income streams is dried up or people not responding to their videos like they think that they used to, where they got a lot of overhead and it's not making out to where it's supposed to be. But of course, people going to say, oh, I'm depressed because I used to make $200,000 a year. Now I don't really make no money. I mean, $200,000 a month. Now I don't make no money. Of course, you're going to be depressed. And again, I think that CJ is a great content creator, so he going to probably figure it out. He said later on in his video that he's going to make a new channel and all of this stuff. But people are always going to say that they feeling some type of way when their money source dry up. Of course, you're going to feel depressed when you get laid off, all of that stuff. It's just an overused word in my opinion. The reality is that for a long time, people was up and they did not make the right investments while they was there. They didn't repivot. They didn't rebrand themselves. They stayed too involved in the drama. And again, I think that he'll be fine. He got an audience. He going to figure it out. As long as you stay working, and that's another one of the reasons that I think that people fall off, is that they stop working and then they just start focusing on the things that they think makes the most sense to them. They stop working. They stop evolving. They stop being in tune with what's happening out here as far as the different changing tastes and what people want and all of that stuff. They stop sharing their life. They keep on trying to beat on the same horse for too long of a time. And then people can see it and they fall away from you and they fall into something else that's more conducive for their life. And so, you know, when you go from making $200,000 a month to less than, to making the same amount as a person that work in corporate America, maybe, depending on how much effort you put into it, yeah, you're going to say that you're depressed. But here's the biggest thing that I want y'all to take away from this before we go over to Bandman Kevo. Here's the biggest thing to take away from this situation. All right? Bandman Kevo, well, let's go over to Bandman Kevo and let's get his take on this. And then we'll go from there. All right? Now remember, Bandman Kevo and Omi and the Hellcat and all of those dudes, they used to create content together. They went and visited each other. Yo, we got the jewelry, we got the cars, we running it up and all of this stuff. And now they turned against each other and now they feeling some type of way about each other. And so I don't know who's talked about who first, but now Bandman Kevo went on a live, I think yesterday, to explain why CJ's so cool as a person that used to be his friend, to explain why he went broke. Check it out.
Reasons why like CJ's so cool, like fell off bad because after him and Royalty had got into it or whatever about the kids, which was really his main source, his only income, literally. The man only income was dealing with kids, right? So if somebody takes these kids away from you, they automatically take over 75% of your income from you, which you are used to making. That's first of all. Second of all, if you turn around and then you start getting loans on money that's not there, and you're not good with money management, you're gonna automatically fall off. You know what I mean? That's the reason why.
Why would people get a loan on money that's not like, if you was getting at any point 200 bands a month, I don't understand it. A, you do not change your lifestyle unless you paying cash for stuff. B, you keep the same. And again, I think that a lot of times people got it too fast. They got it too early. And I don't know how true what Man Cabo is saying. But a lot of times people get it too fast. They get it too early. And so they don't appreciate it. And they think that it's going to last forever. And it may last forever, or it may last for a long time, or you might even grow. But you don't adjust your lifestyle to fit that. You spend according to whatever you make, and you pay cash for everything, and you allocate 75, 80, 90. If you're making $200,000 a month, all right, let's assume that you're making $200,000 a month. I mean, that's a wild number for people to really take into consideration. I generate well over $200,000 a month. I don't know why they only generate $200,000 a month and they got over 9 million subscribers. I generate well over $200,000 a month. I generate 120, 130 every month just from 2 channels alone. And that ain't even got nothing to do with my other stuff. And I don't mind showing my receipts. I can show my receipts all day long. I'll log into my stuff right now and show you the type of money. How was they only generating 200 bands a month? That's weird to me, bro. I generate 120 just off of 2 channels, and that ain't even got nothing to do with my other channels. I don't have no problem showing my numbers. I'm going to log in right now. So, I don't know why they generating so little revenue when they had these huge followings and these huge channels. They don't really know how to monetize. You got 9 million subscribers. You're only making $200,000 a month on YouTube. That's crazy to me. Anyways, neither here nor there. And that's just a couple different channels. But, and again, I break all of this down inside of the Patreon, how to monetize things and how to make as much money as possible. But more importantly, forget the amount of money that you're making. What you doing with it? My personal expenses is still less than $3,000, $4,000 a month. My personal expenses is still less than $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Every dime that I get, I throw into my investments, and I tell people all the time, hey, yo, listen, I'm gonna go broke every month. I'm gonna go broke every month because every single dime that I get, it's gonna go into real estate. It's gonna go into my brokerage account. And this is the stuff that we talk about on the Patreon. If y'all not a part of the Bag Chasers, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. But if you getting $200,000 a month, you only supposed to live off of maybe 5% of it, tops. 10%? 10% is a lot. That means you're living off of $20,000 a month. I don't need no big mansions. I don't need none of that. If I can't write it off as a business expense, don't even talk to me about it. So it's a lot of people that need to spend more time becoming financially literate. And if you wind up going broke, if you can't take away what you did, if you ran up over $200,000 a month for 2 to 3 years, I understand the first year you're trying to figure it out. Hey, maybe you want to get a couple toys, cool. But if you can't after 2 or 3 years be able to walk away from this and never have to work again and let your investments continue to multiply and the rental properties that you've bought and your portfolio and stuff like that, and be able to put your kids, pay off all of your debt and your daughter's college funds is funded and stuff like that. If you can't live off of that and you broke and you taking out $1 million loans, $2 million, $3 million loans, we got a bigger problem on our hands than what kind of content you creating. We got a bigger problem on our hands than what type of content you created. And so it's the same thing with these athletes. It's the same thing with these YouTubers. It's the same things with these rappers. They all got the same mindset, the same lifestyle. They want a chain. They want to get the big house that costs a whole lot of property taxes. And again, I ain't counting their money. I'm just going based off of what they shared with us. These people are not financially literate. So we pedestalize them as a culture and we say, oh man, look at what they're doing. I don't care about what you made. I care about how much you keep. My net worth is always going to destroy the majority of these people. And that's why I show my receipts. I have no problem showing my receipts, and that's why I document my lifestyle. I show y'all how I invest my money. I show y'all what my brokerage accounts are. I show y'all what I still, with the type of revenue that I generate, I still work a regular job. I have 8 streams of income. Don't believe me? All you got to do is go to the Patreon. I just did a video. The last video that I dropped on the Patreon was breaking down why I make millions on millions and millions every single year, while my net worth is in the deck of millions. I anticipate probably within the next 8 years, I should be well over $100 million in net worth, how I keep the majority of it, why I work my ass off even though I'm already there, why I still have a regular job so y'all can know exactly what I make on there. I show my W-2s on that. I'm still dialed into my regular job, and people be laughing at me like, I can't believe Anton got a regular job, because I'm not an idiot. I'm not financially illiterate. I'm not dependent on any one source, any 2 sources, any 3 sources in order for me to run it up. I don't buy chains. I wear a black t-shirt and Levi's. I got on joggers, polo joggers, my Yeezy slides that's very, very comfortable that I get it in with, and I get a nice watch because my watch is, and I don't bust down my watch. This is my Sky Dweller, Rose Gold Sky Dweller. It keeps its value. It appreciates over time. It keeps its value. And the date is wrong. And it's not even, we need to update the date or whatever, but all of my watches keep its value. It's worth just as much, if not more, than what I paid for it brand new. So let me go into this a little bit more. I'm gonna let Kevo explain it, and then I'm gonna start taking phone calls.
Why? You feel me? He fell off real bad type shit.
I ain't got my toes out.
But
I got
that's
black
what's so
socks
crazy
on.
though. You gotta know how to manage money. You gotta definitely
I got a hole in my sock, but I got black socks
surrounding
on.
yourself with the right people, man. Most of the people that come around you will be like fake haters.
I'm a regular person like everybody else.
When I came around, he was damn near asking me, like, man, bro, I'm fucked up right now. You think I can get a loan and this and that? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what you mean? Like, type shit. So when I got around him, he had met this guy named Big Al. When he got into it with Big Al said he worked with a company or whatever that can get him loans on his YouTube channel and this and that. And he was like, man, bro, what you think I should do? I'm like, shit, I don't really know. That's on you. If you can afford to pay these people back, shit, do it. But at the same time, seeing one of your biggest YouTubers go broke is crazy. Now, if we pay attention to everything, like I said, dealing with the kids, you got to think about it like this. You got three kids by one girl. She takes all the kids away from you. This is your only source of income. Me, I say, man, won't you just find some other people who you can use their kids, or just go to get around a lot of kids to make money. But instead, you try to do this relationship goal shit with Lexi.
This is all dumb. Well, first of all, with friends like this, who need enemies? That's number one. And number two, gossip girls telling everybody's personal business. That's something that you don't do. I'm not talking about nobody else's relationship. If they share and a spouse is online and they talking about it, then I'll react to that content. But I'm not about to be talking about somebody else's relationship, kids, all of that stuff. That's messy. But third, again, I think that all of these people is messy. I don't believe that they actually understand being financially secure for the rest of your life. They running it up. They spending it as fast as they get it. And as soon as it go down a little bit and they have to pare down their lifestyle, they got to come online and say, oh my God, I've reduced myself. Nah, I'm straight. I'm straight. So, yep. Let me see something. Yep. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. Let me take a couple of phone calls. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. First, let me read some of the super chats, and then I'm gonna take a couple phone calls, and then we gonna get it popping. Mark the Guardian says Barack is the last boss. We have to vote Kamala. Barack is a simp, in my opinion. Keep the main thing, says Anton. It's very hard to forgive Trump for January 6th, but Kamala not being able to negotiate with the Russians, Jews, and Arabs will start World War III very soon. I never was holding no grudge against him. I don't give a piss about what happened on January 6th. Trump 2024, Biden, Harris, no more one term, y'all out. Carlton in the building. Carlton says, I got this super sticker for you, big dog. Thank you. Brown Ocean says $200,000 a month. Put me on, Coach AD. I love your show. I got you, Brown Ocean. Hey, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Thank you. All right, y'all, let's get into some of these phone calls. Phone call Friday. If you got a question, the link is in the chat. You do not have to be on camera. But if you choose to be on camera, then just make sure you got your camera showing really, really well, and we're going to get there, all right? Cameron. What up, Cameron?
What's going on, AD, man?
Chilling, my friend. What's the word? How you feel?
Do you know what? First of all, I just have to say massive respect to you, bro. Obviously, I'm from the UK, as you could probably tell. I've been following you for a couple of years, and I literally picked up about 3 of the books that you recommended. Intelligent Investor, Psychology of Money, Buffetology. I'm just trying to educate myself. And yeah, no, first of all, I just want to say massive respect to yourself.
Do you want to be on camera?
I can do. I don't mind.
What's up to you?
Yeah, we'll go for it. Yeah, why not?
All right. So go ahead. I'm listening. So what's the word, big dog? I appreciate you. What's the word?
There's a lot going on, and obviously I do YouTube as well. I got like less than 400 subs at the moment, but more than anything, I notice a lot of things, and people like yourself. I didn't used to think you existed, if that makes sense. I thought that I was the only one that would notice these things, especially being black or coming from the hood. In London, obviously, we would say the end. Like, I've noticed a lot of stuff over the last couple of years, but one of the biggest things I've noticed is that people like living in their hell. And I used to think I'm the silly one for kind of going my own way, if that makes sense. And over time, I've got more comfortable with being on my own or just being with my missus and just kind of us doing our own thing.
Yep.
And as I said, people like yourself, and obviously you've got like Angry Man and other content creators, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. These types of guys, kind of, when I came across their content, I was happy to find that there was other men that also get it and understand you don't have to be what everyone decides for you, if that makes sense.
I agree.
So, yeah, I just wanted to say more than anything, big up to yourself. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're locked in from over here in the UK as well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Don't be a stranger, bro. What kind of content do you do? What kind of content do you do?
I would class it as esoteric. So I'll take what the main talking point is, or the mainstream news is, and kind of come at it from a whole different angle, if that makes sense.
You want to shout out your channel?
Yeah. If you guys want to check in, More to the Ends, MoreToTheEndz. We just obviously I don't have a load of following and stuff, but I've kind of focused on making the content have value rather than the views and stuff. I just figured the views will come.
I never look at the numbers.
Yeah, I
focus on being consistent, and I focus on continuing to run it up.
Well, admittedly, when you've shown your receipts and how much you make, and then I'm comparing it to the other YouTubers that I follow, I've kind of realized it's not really about what people can see, if that makes sense.
It's not.
Like you can get the bag. Oh, you see my missus in the background. You can get the bag, like, and not really have to talk about it, essentially.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And I think that the monetization of something is more important than the accolades, the awards, the subscribers, and all of that stuff. To learn how to monetize more effectively, for me, has always been the money has always been more important than the fame. And I tell people all the time, I'd rather have 100,000 people that really love me than 1 million people that's fair weather fans. But yeah, man, thanks for shouting out your channel, big dog. I appreciate you for coming up.
respect to you, big up your family, big up your daughter, big up Rita, and everyone have a blessed day, man.
You too, my friend. Thank you, bro.
Love, love.
All right, shout out to him for coming up. I appreciate him. Let's go with Bran. Bran, you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on, big dog?
Just want to say, I appreciate everything that you do. I'll definitely watch your channel all the time. It's inspiring. Somebody like myself, trying to make the best of life. Just being a husband, a dad of 3 girls. Just trying to make it every day, working hard just to provide. But what I wanted to talk about is, I'm not originally from here. I'm from Africa, so southern part of Africa, and I've been in the States for 20 years now. So this is home.
How old are you?
For me. I'm 35.
Okay. All right, I got
Yeah, so
you.
I came here pretty young.
You came here when you was 15.
Yeah. Traveled a lot. Dad works like nonprofit, so I kind of hopped around, and wherever he went, kind of had to tag along. But like I said, I've kind of this is it for me. This is home. Do have where I'm from, and I miss it, and that's always going to be home.
Okay.
But America is where the opportunity is, and I don't care what anybody says. Everybody is trying to come over here. Most people from Africa, literally where I'm from, people throw parties when you get a passport because they know that you're gonna go for a better life, and everybody wants to come over here. So no matter what anybody says, America is the best country in the world, and
Yeah, I believe
I can
that.
attest to it. I can attest to it. My parents have a business, very successful business that they bought a few years back. But what I want to talk about is bringing when you talked about the Obama comment that he made. Um, I'm a citizen. I can vote and everything, and I voted back in 2016. Set out the 2020 election. It kind of made me think of what he did when Hillary was running. He came out and essentially said, black people need to go out there and vote for Hillary. Like, you guys have to send me out. Give me a better farewell. Like, how dare you sit out of the election and not vote for Hillary? And it made me think of that particular comment that he made. Essentially it's the disrespect that the Democrats have for black people, that they expect things to be given to them, but they don't give anything in return. Like I said, I've been here 20 years and I've seen the cycle. I used to be liberal myself, and I've kind of moved away from it. I'm more independent, but more conservative, because as you know, as black people, no matter where you are from, black people tend to be more conservative,
Correct.
all
I agree
across
with
the
you.
board, right? So what I'm thinking is, wouldn't it make more sense for black people in general here in the States, whether you have your ancestry or you've migrated like myself, and you now call this home and you're a citizen, to, instead of leaning either left or right, if black people actually became independent as a bloc, that holds more power than giving our vote to one political party 90% plus, because like I say, they don't give us anything in return. When the migrants were sent to Martha's Vineyard, where Obama has a house, they kick those migrants out and they send them to communities, our communities, and they don't want the migrants in their neighborhoods, but they will
Well,
send them to our
the
communities.
thing about being independent, the premise of what you're saying, I agree with 100%. And the reason that I agree with it 100% is because, and I think that this goes for everybody, not just black people, it forces people to earn your vote versus expect for you to vote for them regardless, because of identity or because of gender or anything like that. And so I think that remaining independent does two things. It forces the politicians themselves, whether you locally or you nationally, to earn your vote. That's number one. But number two, what it does is it forces the person that's voting to think critically about why they're voting for whoever it is that's petitioning for their vote. You actually have to be informed to make a decision when you don't pick one side or the other. So I 100% agree with you. I think that it makes more sense to be conservative while still having an independent mindset and being open to the possibility of what if, depending on where you are in your life at that time. But it also allows for you to listen intently to each candidate to see if they're going to make sense, whether you're Democrat or Republican, whether they're Democrat or Republican. And I think that, yes, being independent forces you to start being a little bit more informed with your vote versus just voting one way or voting the other way. I 100% agree with you.
And that's true. And I was gonna just say, as black men, we already already have a lot that is against us, and
I don't feel like that.
this. No, but I know you don't to a certain extent. But I guess what I'm getting to the point of is, black men, we have so much power and strength that we've allowed other people to manipulate and use our power to their advantage, right? So whenever they need something, black men are used. And we never collectively as black men stand up and saying, you know what, we have to make it a point that if you, like you said, if you want something from us, you're going to have to earn it. And I think as black men, we need to be the leaders that we were ordained to be, destined to be. Because if we don't lead like we're supposed to do in
I
our
believe that most
yeah,
black guys are feminized. And I think that a lot of guys, a lot of men in general, are a lot more liberal, and they don't have as much masculinity. And so it takes a lot for them to go through it, for them to kind of have that aha moment and say, you know what, I'm gonna be different than I was in yesteryear. So I don't think that that's ever gonna happen.
And my last point before, and then I'll get out. It's like I said, I'm a dad of 3 girls, and I was watching one of your, the shows that you do with the panel, and you had mentioned something in there, and I think it was Molly had mentioned something that I'm not gonna let the school teach my kids certain things. And I think you guys were talking about, the LBGT, and how the kids spend a lot of time in school and they get a lot of these things from teachers and peers. And us as black men, it all has to start at home. If I'm not teaching my daughters certain things before they walk out of the door, then the world is going to raise my daughters. They're going to influence what they do, what they think, and what they say. And I've made it an effort to my oldest child that every day before she leaves for school, I tell her that I love her, to be the best person she can be, to let her know that if anybody at school tells you that X, Y, and Z, know that before you walked out of this door, I told you that you were beautiful. I told you that you're amazing. Because when they go out into the world is corrupting them. And if we don't step up as black men and play our role as fathers, then we are doing a disservice to these kids. Because when they grow up, they're going to come back and ask us why we didn't do those things. So I just want to say, as black men, like we need to seize this opportunity. We are going to get blamed for Kamala losing the election, but we have to show that we are the leaders that we are supposed to be. We need to stand on that, and we need to hold ourselves accountable and take our rightful place back.
I appreciate you. Thank you, man. That's great insight. Thank you, Brand.
Hey, appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Deshaun, coming to you next. What's up, Deshaun? What's the word, big dog?
What's up, Anton? Thank you. Appreciate you.
Chilling. What's the word, man? What's your thoughts?
First and foremost, I want to go ahead and just say how much I appreciate you. Ever since I started following you, you've really changed my mind on how I think about work, how I think about money, how I think about moving through. I've been married 5 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How's it treating you? How's marriage?
Listen, 5 going on 50. We've been through more stuff than people go through in 20, 30, 40, 50 years of marriage, but we're making it
It gets
through.
better.
Part
Every
of that,
year it gets better.
It definitely does. But thanks to you, I'm actually starting another job next month, and so that will effectively be another 100 and something to my already 100.
Shout out to you, getting that bag. I love that. The question is, what are you doing with it, though?
Paying off stuff and bringing my wife home so that she can just heal and recover. And then just making sure that we build and create that legacy for our one daughter. So God bless the man before me who has 3, but we got 1, and she's giving us as much trouble as possible. I definitely wanted to say thank you, though, because, like I said, appreciate your teachings, and that's just from the YouTube channels that I've been watching. I did also want to go ahead and make a point to, not to really stir up any kind of controversy, but I did want to educate, because I know.
Do you want to be on the camera?
Oh, yeah. You can put me on the camera. That's fine.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, you're fine. So I did want to educate a little bit, because my wife is a registered nurse, and then she's going to go to school, be an NP. So, and then a lot of the stuff that we've been going through revolves around healthcare and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so just wanted to get it out there about how The Democrats, why the pro-choice is so important, because I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I'm voting conservative. It just is what it is, because I'm in a situation where that's just what works for us, right? But understanding why some people are voting Democrat, especially on the abortion stuff, isn't so much because of the abortion, but the pork that they put in the bills and how that leads to other things, and how the funding, like these clinics can't get funding if they perform abortions, right? If we sit here and disqualify it on that. And the problem is we're not looking at the other services that reaches out to when you're talking about birth control, mental health, STD testing, prenatal and postpartum services, and all that other stuff. When you're talking, the things that lower income people need, but then can't afford.
Right.
And so those clinics go out of business. And so you get, a bunch of Karens that stay at home, and then they want to show up to Planned Parenthoods ready to blow it up because all they think they do in their abortion, when realistically they have so many more affordable care options within those facilities. Now, I personally have never been inside them, but I know what they offer. I've been on their site, and I just know how important it is that we don't get distracted by the talk of abortion for the handful of people that are actually even going through with that procedure, when there's such a dire need. And the fact that we are literally last as a first world country when it comes to maternal death rates, it's, we're the worst off. And so a lot of that stuff is tied to the fact that, a lot of people don't have affordable healthcare, access to affordable healthcare. And I can't imagine where I'd be right now if I didn't already know better when I got married to, bring my wife under my covering and make sure that I had health insurance, because that in itself could have literally put us on the streets, right? And so I just want to go ahead and put that out there. When people, start revolving around the abortion rights and what it actually means, right? Not just, can I abort at 9 months? No, it's about the actual facilities getting their funding.
Shouldn't these legislators or these people that's running from office, shouldn't they speak more to that issue? Why would they speak more towards abortion than they speaking towards the other care options that are needed within certain communities, as far as making sure that these places stay open?
I think what it is that the Democrats have failed us on all fronts, right? But I think it's also the point at which they're getting caught up trying to fight back on specifically abortion, because that's the hot button topic. That's the trigger word, right, for everybody. There's a reason that they separated church and state. And the fact of the matter is if you look at the Bible, you look at different religions, they're all going to have their definition of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in regards to contraception in itself, right? And so I know, like, I had a Mormon roommate when I was in college, and when you look at Mormonism, like, condoms is a no-go, right? Caffeine is a no-go. This kind of stuff where it's like, so you have the extremes on one end or the other. And
but is it extreme though?
We got to use common sense.
Is it extreme though to say that they shouldn't be using those things if their position is that people should not be having sex out of wedlock?
I agree with you, but you're dealing with human nature. And so if people are going to be doing it, they're going to be doing it. But more importantly is, even if you sit here and say that a husband and a wife are together, right? But they can't afford to do something like get prenatal and postpartum services, then they should still have it available to them, right? And so
no, they're not in a position to be having children.
That we can go back and forth about that as well, but you
think that do you think that poor people should have children?
I don't think they should, but and now you're gonna get me in trouble, right?
I'm just challenging you on your statements. I'm not saying what I believe or anything, but I just want you to qualify your statements because think about it though. If the church's position is that you shouldn't be having children out of wedlock, or you shouldn't even be having sex out of wedlock, then why would they validate something that enables you to do something that they advocate against? Because it would then diminish the position of the church itself to then say that, well, it's okay to be a demon and a devil as long as you wear a condom on it.
So is it demonic for a husband and wife to sleep together? That's the thing that I'm talking about, right?
Nope,
And it's
there's
not.
additional context though. Is it wrong for a person to bring a child into this world under dire circumstances when a child didn't ask to be here? Because like another part of the scriptures is that you're supposed to leave your children and leave your family an inheritance, right? So if you're bringing them in under a poverty-stricken environment, are you also doing your family a disservice and sinning against the word because you're not operating on the entire word? You're only operating on one part of the scripture that said that you need to get married before you have sex. What about all of the rest of it though?
Okay. And so with that being said, what are the other services that we can sit here and put in place that are already at these facilities when you talk about wellness, preventative contraception, any kind of concerns in terms of not
those are
making
nice
it
to
even
have
to that
though,
point
in
in
my
which we
opinion.
get to
Those are nice to haves. Those are not things that I believe that we should be responsible for, that I need to be responsible for, because again, I'm not dependent on the system in order to do the thing that's in the best interest of my family. That is a nice to have from a societal perspective, but you're still as a man responsible for what happens with you and then your family if you decide that you want to have them under your covering. I can't make any excuses. Oh no, the hood didn't have prenatal and postnatal care. Oh no, the gas station didn't have condoms, so I just wound up having a kid. No, that still falls on my shoulders to be responsible for the circumstances and the environment by which I decided to put myself in. So I can't make excuses, but while at the same time, it's nice to have those things, but I don't think that that should be the standard and the requirement because it still doesn't solve for the core issue and the roots of the problems.
That is true, but then if we're sitting here and we're saying, okay, that they shouldn't be doing it under those circumstances, is it not our responsibility to educate them beforehand?
It's not our
And right
responsibility.
now,
It's a nice to have.
No, but I'm saying it's not us, but in terms of the society is supposed to educate before we get to that point. And the fact of the matter is the schools are failing us in educating on sex education, abstinence, and all this other stuff, especially in the lesser states, some of the southern states, right, in which their approach to it is just don't do it, right? But they're not actually sitting here and telling you who, what, where, when, whys, and
I don't think that
hows.
that's the
And
school's responsibility. I think that that's the parents' responsibility. Again, I think that
okay,
that's
but
a
if the
nice to
parents
have
didn't
if
know
you
better
have
and
that
then
in
they have
school.
the kids and then you end up in this cycle, so at what point are we breaking the cycle and how do we break the cycle?
That's
gonna be
personal
my question.
responsibility. Again, I think that that's a nice to have in schools, but I don't think that that is the responsibility of schools. The fundamental reason that I think that kids should go to school is to learn the basics of what it's going to take for them to be able to operate and function in a society from a mathematical perspective, from a science perspective, from a geography perspective, right? The basics. I don't need my school to tell my daughter what contraception is. That is my responsibility as a parent. It's a nice to have, but it's not a requirement. We've learned to expect it because that's what's been our cultural norm, but I don't think that that's something that should be required.
Okay, all right. No, listen.
I will never rely on the government to educate my family, my daughter, and protect my wife. And the only reason I have any expectation from the government is because they take my taxes. And so because they take my taxes and they force me to pay them, I then have an expectation of the basics. I want police services. I want good infrastructure. You see what I'm saying? I want the things, the necessities. I don't need them to fix me. I just need them to get out of my way.
Okay.
I can educate my own daughter. I can make sure that I protect my own wife. I'm good on that. I don't need them to put anything inside of the books that I don't want in there.
No, that's fine and fair. And honestly, I agree with you on that approach for my own family as well. But I have to acknowledge where these things play a part in our society as a whole, right? And so I just want to make sure I bring attention to it because it is important, and it is important for everybody to know, right? It's important to be educated and then make the decision based off of knowing all of the facts and not just, oh, the thing that they're throwing in your face of abortion, 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 right? And so then at that point, we can all make our own decisions based off of that. Once again, like I said, I'm voting, conservative because for me, that none of this applies, right? Like I have money, I got insurance, we're good. My family's taken care of.
That's dope.
But I want to make sure that everybody else knows, right? And so that's just what I wanted to come up here and say. Thank you.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through, Deshaun.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, big dog. Let's see who we got up next. I'm gonna bring up We. We is next, and then Albert. We'll go with you, and then we're gonna figure it out from there. All right. We. What up, We?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Chilling, chilling. What's the word, big dog?
Yo, man, I love how you keep keeping us on our toes and just teaching us new stuff about finances. Because many times when I tell some of my friends about it, they come like they don't understand what I'm saying.
Why they
Yeah,
say?
so
Who was your friends? What do you mean they act like they don't know what you're saying?
because like most of them, let them know like, yo, like one before I used to just love like to hey get it like finance everything, and then like sooner or later I was like, yo, if you really think about it and you finance everything, then when time comes and you really need to move some money or get some money, you don't have it.
Yep. I don't believe in financing personally for myself. I
Yeah,
understand why people do it. I don't
yeah,
believe in it myself because I think that it puts me in a better position to never have to depend on anything, and anything that I can't buy cash, I probably just don't need. So even when you finance, I still have the cash to
hmm
do it. Um,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're not in a position to be able to do it, then you probably should rethink your priorities. I agree with you.
true. Because even like what I used to do is because I remember one time I told them I was like, yo, I had a Beamer, and then like I had a room that I rented out, and then I was like, I'm basically throwing away money versus because even though the car payment. So I was like, you know what? So what I end up doing is like end up starting a channel and then end up buying like wrecked cars and then rebuilding them. And then
Yeah.
now I don't even have a car payment for the next for the last having a
It's
car payment
freedom.
over 5 years now.
It's freedom. It's dope.
Yeah,
You can't even
yeah,
imagine doing it.
yeah. So
Yep, it's
that's what
freedom.
I tell most people like, yo, just just don't even bother to finance stuff. Just even if it's to get a hoopty, just get a hoopty and just ride it
I
out for the
agree.
time being.
I agree
Yeah.
100%. Thank you, Wee man. Thank you for calling in, big dog.
Yeah. And don't forget to check out my channel, We Rebuilds.
We Rebuilds, WEE,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a sign right here too.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna put you on the screen. Give me a second. I gotta make sure that I put you on the screen. That way you can share it with the people.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Show it to them.
So We Rebuilds. Yeah, but the garage is not there. But on YouTube it's just We Rebuilds.
What a Z, right?
Yeah, with
All
a Z at
right.
the end.
I
Because
like that.
I got two. These are some cars that I'm even working on right now. I'm stripping this one apart, and I'm about to strip this one apart. And I've already rebuilt like 3 cars already.
I see you got them good ceiling lights. Those are phenomenal lights, bro.
Oh yeah, I recently did it to like did the lights and the floors.
Yeah, it look good,
The
man.
be-
It look good, bro.
Yeah, so I did all that for the channel too as well.
Nice, bro. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all
All right,
check out We Rebuilds. All right, big dog. I
all
appreciate you.
right, all right. Thanks again.
All right, big dog.
All right.
Let's see. I'm gonna go to my dog, Albert. So I want to speed this up a little bit, y'all, simply because I want to make sure I get as many people in as possible. What up, Al?
How you doing, Anton?
What's up, my friend? What's the word?
Oh man, look, I am the official head of the Anton Daniels Kenya branch. So,
The Anton Daniels Kenya
my,
branch. You want to be on the camera?
yeah, no
Okay,
man,
go
I don't
ahead.
mind.
I'm listening.
Actually, my most viral X videos when I was reacting to something you're saying about your politics, which kind of I saw the Barack's video today, and I remembered the manipulation. I remembered that at some point our president, late last year or sometime early this year, came to your country, and he took a picture with Biden. Biden was standing, you were sitting on the president's chair, and then when he came back here, inflation was already bad after the COVID and whatnot. But when he came back here, immediately everything went double price.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I'm here to implore you guys to make sure that Trump wins this round, because the less we have of that kind of interference where they're imposing these thieves on us,
Where
our
they
leaders are
interfering with
legit.
what you got going on in your own country.
Yes, it's so blatant also, and also Bill Gates is here trying to make sure the only seeds that we use are from his company.
Wait.
They're
Bill
trying to
Gates is
outlaw
where?
the traditional. Yeah,
Bill Gates is
Bill
where?
Gates came here. Yeah, in our country, Kenya.
Bill Gates came to
They are
Kenya?
trying. Yes,
And what did he do? What
there's
is he doing in
already
Kenya?
there's many things, but one of the things I find most insidious is the seeds. He's trying to outlaw basically all the indigenous seeds of all sides, so that we only get the seeds from his company. So that is it's a big thing right now. He's paid off our politicians, and it's just crazy. And we understand that if you have the orange man there, he's not he's not so big about chasing down such. And I think it's because I don't understand why can't you see how fake Kamala Harris? Anyone can see. We are not Americans, but we can see, and we can see how plastic she is. Every time she's asked a different question, because she has like 10 questions they ask her all the time. If you ask the 11th question, she doesn't know how to say anything. So it's like she's been memorizing these things. It's everybody can tell us how horrible she is at this.
Yeah.
It's not just for you guys. Worldwide, we are worried because we've seen the controls are coming in. We can't when you're trying, because our guys are stealing so much, and also a lot of this money is being repatriated, say, to America and other places, and they're buying properties in America with the same money they're stealing from government. So it's becoming like these guys are doing it and they're not stopping. And every time we are seeing, they're always calling this guy up. Everything is going to shit here, but they're always calling him up. We see him at the UN. We see him with you guys, your president, and the British, the Belgians, everybody. So we are feeling very worried about this. I think whatever they are planning, because I think there's something insidious there. Whatever they are
Well, we
planning,
gonna get Trump in
and
office, so we ain't even gonna have to worry about that, big dog.
yeah, man. I'm really hoping that's the case. I'm actually very happy because I was kind of from 2006, 16. I've known the character of Trump for almost 30 years. There's nothing these people are telling me that's new about Trump. I was wondering why are all these corrupt people so against him. It was just a weird situation where guys are just watching things. Are being told, "Oh, he's a racist," but Jesse
It's all being
Jackson,
marketed to.
Snoop
It's
Dogg.
all marketing campaign. It don't have nothing to do with them actually being against Trump.
Yeah, man, and it's just the way people fall for it is quite worrying because the
Yep.
numbers are quite big. The
Yep.
people are just like, how can you not see it? Anyway, that was what I wanted to say because in as much as we can see, we are looking everywhere in the world. We are looking at you guys right now, and I'm actually very happy this time. Even Barack speaks, he's told, "Man, what are you telling us?" I really love that feeling. There's a certain level of independence and there's a certain level of like really F off. Like we don't need this anymore. Like I'm hungry, things are going to the dogs, but you want to sell me vagina and skin color. Like seriously, that's his level. That's where Barack wants us, everybody. In
Yep.
fact, even us Africans, we're told if we don't support her, you are called names by some activists we have around. So it is not as just a youth thing, and I hope it works out because he's put together a really good team. I love the Kennedy angle, I love the Tulsi angle, and why are they acquiescing? The people that I like are acquiescing to him. Like, so it is quite obvious to me. Nobody is perfect in this game. Absolutely no one. But there's no way anybody doesn't see the daylight that separates him from Kamala Harris. It's quite obvious. From actually building his own businesses, they keep on saying, "Oh, he failed." Who has done business that hasn't failed? Anton.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I
Yeah. So
appreciate you. Thank you, Al. Thank you for coming through, big dog. We're gonna hold you down. Hold down
no problem, man.
the Kenya angle of the chasers, man.
Yeah. We are here, man. Come
All
on.
right, big dog.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right, cheers. I'm gonna go with Jesse. What up, Jesse?
Okay, we live, huh?
Yeah. What up?
Listen, Anton, man,
You want to be on camera?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, that's
I'm
cool.
already.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm
All right,
rolling
so
right
what's
now.
the word? What's the word?
Let me see. Okay, we good. How you
Yeah.
feeling, man? I just want to thank you, brother, for everything that you do, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro.
You know, I think it goes unnoticed, man. I always have you on. I'm in my home studio right now, and I always got you in the background when I'm
Oh
cooking.
yeah, that I knew you was my guy, bro. I knew you was my guy, bro.
I'm always cooking. Hold on, real quick. I gotta do it for the YouTube too, real quick.
Yeah. What up? What up? What up?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like I said, man, it's the things that you do, the way you moving, you and your wife Rita. I feel like we get so much exposure to the family. You know what I'm saying, and everything you got going on. Like I said, I just appreciate it, man. I mean, I've been able to do so much just being able to tap in with the content, brother. So,
Thank you,
you
bro.
know, kudos,
Yeah.
kudos.
Hey, shout out
Kudos.
your channel, man.
Oh, so First Generation Nation, right? The goal is to be first generation millionaires.
Yeah.
But my
You gonna
channel
get
is
there.
at Jesse Janari, at JESSEJANARI.
You
And
getting there. You getting
I've been
there.
vision and film, bro, and I want to be able to. I want to cook up a theme song for you or something.
I'm waiting on you. You know what my email is.
I want to cook. What is it? Anton Daniels at 413 at Gmail.
Anton Daniels 413 at gmail.com.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I said, I'm so
I'm
locked
waiting
in
on
with.
you.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in with you, man. Like I said, I want to be a part of whatever you got going on, whatever help you need. I'm based out of LA.
Okay, bet.
We just finished All American Homecoming season 3.
Yeah.
Did some music on there. Just got back from Japan, man.
How'd you like
You know,
Japan?
oh man, I loved it.
Yeah.
I
Japan's
loved
great,
it.
bro. That's
I
it
want
right
to
there.
get down to Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Up to Michigan.
Well,
So
I'm gonna
you
be
know,
over here. I'm traveling. I'm going everywhere. So I'm on it. I'm
absolutely,
on it.
absolutely. Like I said, man, I just appreciate it, man. You got my. Ever since I've been tuned in, the money been up. You know, credit been good, making more money. Everything paid off. I done
Yeah. I
had,
like that.
you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
didn't
I
caught
seen
me.
that. I seen
I see you
that.
doing your thing. So, you know, I'm on LinkedIn right now. I'm just trying to get more plugged in, get more tapped in with a lot of, you know, sync companies and things like that, man. But and, you know, you covering the Democratic National Convention, Republican National Convention. I mean, damn, I was like, yo, this dude is thorough. Thorough.
I'll be on it, man. I'll be needing to know what's going on. I got to get the information to the people.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, man, I just really wanted to come on and appreciate you, big dog, and show you love and you know what I'm saying, give honor where it's due. You feel what I'm
Hey,
saying?
man, thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Tap
Send me
in. I'm
that,
gonna hit
bro.
that email right now.
Send it to me. I'm on it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send you some records too, and let's see what we can do, big dog.
All right, that's a bet. All right, big dog. I appreciate you, man.
In a minute.
All right, bet. I'm gonna go to Phyllis. What up, Phyllis?
Oh, Mr. 80, hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you great. What's up, Phyllis? How you feel?
Excellent. All is well. I just wanted to say, and this is more of a comment, but I wanted you to, of course, to do what you do, but I am so inspired by you. You inspire me so much. I learned of you from watching Kevin Samuels' channel. And ever since then, I've just been like a weekly supporter, bag chaser as well. I need to get more
Oh,
active, but I
hold
am a
on.
bag
Shout out to
chaser.
you for the chasers. Shout out to the chasers.
So,
What's going on, Phyllis?
and I
Now
share your
you
information,
special.
of
You
course.
special in my heart for real now.
Oh, bless you. I share your information. I don't want to be on the camera, but I share your information with my daughter and with anyone else who will listen. So you're definitely at a grassroots level changing a lot of lives. This is what I wanted to focus on, if
Okay.
I may. As a Black woman, I wanted to speak to men, especially Black men. I
Okay.
wanted to let you know that I pray that you have a safe space to fully operate in the role that you are supposed to take in the society. So I'm looking at this election and I'm really, really upset about how you're being attacked even by so-called other Black men, like who are saying, if you're a Black man, how dare you not vote for a woman? What? This is the tyrant. This is the terror. Stand firm. Don't apologize. If you have a wife or a girlfriend and she wants to vote for Kamala Harris, let her be. But I remember a time when my father, who's now deceased, baby boomer, worked 6 jobs and to put me through college, put the rest of my family through college. And he said, I'm going to give you a debt-free education. He said, when you go out there, he said, I couldn't do it everything, but literally under $5,000 he gave to me as a gift. He said, you take it from here. And I was just so enamored of him. I spent
Sound
so
like
much
you had a
time with him.
great father.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a daddy's girl. To this day, like I still hear him. You know, I miss him, but I celebrate him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is a very sensitive area because I get enraged when I see that you guys have men, you're under attack. Your ability to be able to stand firmly and say what you need to say flat-footed, like that, we're losing that. I remember just a generation. I sent you information about the Teamsters.
Yep.
I mean the ILA leader, and I was like, oh my gosh, my daddy used to say, this is shop talk. This is how men talk.
Yeah, this is how we talk.
Oh,
Yeah, this is how we get down.
I was so excited to see it because you're expected to water it down and try to figure out how to make yourself more politically correct and all these things.
Never.
Don't do it.
Never.
Do not compromise.
I'm the same as I always been.
Yes.
I'm never gonna change. I'll get better, but I'm never gonna change. And
yes,
let me say this to you, Phyllis. Don't feel sorry for us, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I don't want you to feel sorry for us because this is what men do. Like, we are supposed to be at war, and it's gonna be people on one side and it's gonna be people on the other side. But you know, if you stand for the right thing, then it's okay for you to fall for whatever it is that you believe in. And so for me, I have so much faith in what I believe in, and I think that it's so right that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to see it through. You know, I stand for certain things and I represent a certain group of people, and I don't care about what happens around me. I'm still going to see it through. So I love your compassion. I love your empathy. I love the fact that you're so intentional with holding us down. But this is just what we do. Men are supposed to be strong. We supposed to stand up to it. We supposed to be able to endure through whatever it is that's thrown at us so that we can create a better environment for the people that come after us. Unfortunately, what I've seen happen over the last 30 years, 40 years, is that we've seen a lot of people lay down, and that's why you see things as bad as it is. But I think that, you know, masculinity has always been in style. I don't think that it ever went out of style. I think that they tried to cancel it. But as long as I'm here and as long as I'm breathing and as long as I have the opportunity to be able to, you know, shape this world by giving my opinion and giving my thoughts, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm never going to move off my square just because people feel a certain type of way about it. It is what it is.
Yes. That's so encouraging. I really appreciate you. All my love, of course, as always, as I always say, to you and Miss Rita and your baby daughter, who's growing up beautifully in a household that reminds me of what I had. So I'm really excited about that. And I hope to be able, from a mother's perspective, to give the same thing to my daughter, because it's so important. I don't want what my father taught me to be lost.
It never will, because it lives on in all of the rest of us and me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phyllis. I appreciate you, baby.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, babe. See ya. Let's see. I'm going to take a couple more guests. Let me make sure that I got my tip money available for my DoorDash. Hold on. Got my tip money available. All right, let's see if I can get a couple more people in here and see what the word is. We're going to have to make it quick because they be acting like they don't know how to get up to my space to deliver it. I'm going to go with Marcrease. What is it? What's up, Marcrease?
What's going on, man?
Chilling, my friend. What's the word?
I'm chilling, man. I'm up here just cooking some brunch. I just finished working out. But listen, man.
Where you from?
I'm ex-military. I saw on your show that you. Okay, I forgot to say this. I saw on your show this guy named CJ.
Yeah, CJ so cool.
Yes. No. It's a guy named CJ on your show where you had Mika. What's her name? Mika, Q. All y'all be talking on it like the.
Oh, okay. It was on a Monday night show.
Yes. But it was a guy named CJ. He was a veteran like me.
Yeah.
And he said he couldn't vote for Trump. And I said, wait a minute. I'm an ex-finance officer. I'm retired military.
Yep.
So I said, wait a minute. He said he don't like Trump. Trump gave us 8% increase.
Yeah. Well, you know what I realized is that all people that served are not built the same.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. I see how things is going inside of our armed services, our military, our Navy and stuff. I'm starting to question what kind of recruitment they got going on out here.
Listen, I don't know.
It's a lot of sassiness that's going on in these recruitment offices.
I know a lot of people listening to you and look at you, which is great, man, because you're inspiration to a lot of people.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Marquise.
But if Elon Musk is listening to you or can find this, he needs to find people like me. I'm ex-finance officer, and when he said he's going to audit this military or audit the government, listen, brother, I'm not hot-headed. I'm not distraught. I'm just the person. I go by what the Bible says.
Mm-hmm.
Give what Caesar to Caesar and give what to the Lord the Lord.
Yep.
So with that, I'm like, hey, I can easily find $40 to $44 billion.
Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Hello.
Yeah, Jason, I'm outside. The door closed.
Yeah, come in the back. Come through the back. You got to come through the back way.
I know. But I looking the where the security. I don't see anybody inside.
Yeah, come in the back. You got to come around the back, big dog.
Jason, I know, but the gate is closed.
The back door? Are you at the front door or the back door?
The back door.
Here I come.
Thank you so much.
All right. Give me a second, bro. Sorry about that.
Okay. This is crazy. You got to go to hell.
This is so stupid. These people are so stupid, bro. It's amazing to me. Oh, sorry about that, bro. All right, you got any final thoughts, Marquise?
Yeah.
Dog, I'm sitting there. I said, dog, the door. I pushed the door right open because we got double doors. Security guard went to the bathroom. We got double doors, and he tried to open one side. It was locked. The other side is right. I said, it's wide open, bro. Oh, I didn't check the other door. That's all right. That's cool. Wow. That's why I got an alias. My alias is Jason. Now I got to change my name up again. Jason. The door's not open. Now I got to change my alias, my DoorDash alias again.
Yeah, because now that I'm retired, I was seeing the books that you say you was reading. I read so many books. It's ridiculous, man. Especially the book Intelligent Investor.
Yeah. That's my favorite. It's one of my favorite books of all time.
But it's another one, Anton. This one here, Money, Master the Game.
I got it too. I got that too.
Man, so you know about.
Hold on, I might have it. Let me see something. You talking about this one right here?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
So, Robert,
you see how worn out it is. I've been reading the hell out of this book.
I see. Robert Dallio breaks down his percentages, how he have the all-weather strategy. You read, man, that thing is awesome. So I said, hey, I didn't know about it, but I'm gonna follow it at my level because I'm not at y'all level. I'm at the regular man level. But the bottom line is this: if Elon Musk can see this, or Trump can see this podcast that you got,
yeah,
I'm the type guy he needs on his team to audit the government. Trust me. I know exactly where to look, exactly where to go, the questions to ask, and I can guarantee you I can find Trump $40 to $44 billion off the top.
I believe you. I know you can. I absolutely know you can.
But listen,
100%.
Man, I really appreciate you chiming into me and let me be on your podcast for a second. But I'm at the little stage. I'm at the crawl phase on three.
We gonna get there though. We gonna get there. We all start somewhere, and we gonna get there, big dog.
So my channel, Marquise, what's up, man, and picky people.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for calling in, big dog.
Hey, take care, man, and you keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, bro. Hello. She ain't gonna win, and you know she ain't gonna win. Hold on, let me call you right back as soon as I get done off my live stream. All right, bet. All right, so listen, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to eat, and then I got some more work to do. Y'all can catch me at, I think I'm going to be on the Ingram angle tonight, so I'm going to be on Fox News tonight. I'm going to answer some more. I got to do some more phone calls next time. I'll do some more phone calls next week, or probably tonight. Ingram tonight on Fox News. Dr. Phil on October 16th, primetime, 7 p.m. Eastern. Harley initiated on the 21st. Got a live show in Atlanta on the 2nd of November, and Detroit December 14th. I got a show in here in Detroit, and then we're going to let y'all know what we got going on after that. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys are the greatest audience on earth. If you like the call-ins and the ability to be able to call in and give your thoughts or ask questions, let me know. I love y'all. Make sure y'all tune into After Hours tonight. It's going to be a great show. After Hours tonight, we're going to get it popping. And it's going to be a fun show. I guarantee y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me get something to eat. I got to get something in here to fill up my belly so I got some more fuel to be able to run it up. All right. Let me read some of these super chats, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Jasmine says, Anton, I had to stay at the Hilton instead of the Holiday Inn. Anton, would you allow this on the expense report? I don't know. The Mosey Wozy. How's it going, AD? Do you know MTR? I think he could make a great addition to the panel. PS, get the likes up in the chat. I met him once. I met him at Kevin Samuel's funeral. I met at MTR at Kevin Samuel's funeral. Levi the Pearl says, Anton, I'm going to post this video just so people don't talk about it. What? Morning Bag Chasers also praying for success and survival for Florida. JP says the next powerhouse Dem candidate will be trans. I don't doubt that either. We distracted by the missing stash. Where'd it go? More to the end says, yo, people, it's Cameron. Cameron, this is my channel, guys. Shout out to you and AD every time. Shout out to More to the Ends. J. Ben says, if you can't afford to ski, don't clap the cheeks. That's a fact. Crazy because I just saw a short of the CIA director reportedly visiting Kenya recently, says Steve Funkerson. And then my dog J. Ben says, Chronicles of a DoorDash going crazy in October. I had so many problems with the deliveries and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on. Shout out to my dog J. Ben. Shout out to all of y'all in the chat. I'm going to see y'all on After Hours tonight. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I'm out.